You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to see the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, gross atomic waste. From deep within the core, gross atomic waste.
Hello and welcome to the 535th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, joined by a flock of my favorite Fallout folks. This afternoon, I've got Jess. What's up, Jess?
Good morning, Andrew. Greets, everybody.
And Ray. What's up, Ray?
Hello, hello.
So, also, Jess, the date does not switch until you wake up, but it is still also morning within a couple hours of you waking up, even though it's after 12 o'clock noon?
So I'm pushing the definition a little bit today, but I feel like within a 2-hour window of when I wake up, it's still morning for the most part. Also, did you know, ever since I got a smartwatch, I don't even know when I'm awake anymore. So I have discovered that what I always suspected was true. There are days when my watch decides I wake up about 10, 15 minutes into my shift at work. I'm like, oh, look, I've been working for 10 minutes. I'm finally awake.
I don't know how any of that works. How does it determine if you're awake?
So it's kind of odd. Like if you get up and you move around too much or whatever, your Fitbit automatically determines that you've woken up. But sometimes, if you get up, in the middle of the night like you have to occasionally and go back, and it's fine. It doesn't wake you up then. But sometimes it's a little bit slow to recognize you woke up at all. So I've been up for 20 minutes before it decides that I'm awake. And it makes me laugh. But the other day, it never usually overlaps work because I usually get up, 20, 30 minutes before work at least. But occasionally you get up and you just rush right in. And the other day, it was like 10 minutes after I'd clocked in. It said, oh, you're awake. I'm like, I am? Thanks for letting me know.
With your 1 minute commute to work.
It's true. It's a fantastic commute most of the time.
Just don't let your supervisor have that password for your Fitbit.
No. No, we're not sharing that info. But yeah, good morning, y'all. I've been awake for pretty much exactly 2 hours now. I guess it can be afternoon if you want it to be. It's only 2:30 p.m.
I woke up at my sleep schedule during holiday break has just been so fucked up. I'm sleeping and awake for 8 hours, go sleep for 5, awake for 7, go sleep for 4. I'm doing this weird shift sleeps like a dog or something. It's fun.
Or a retired person.
A retired person. There you go.
Yeah, or a retired person. I mean, it is funny how much our work shift and, of course, family obligations kind of determine our life. I'm essentially a third shifter. So anybody thinking, Jess, you're just lazy? No, I mean, I work afternoons, evenings, so that's why my rotation is that way. And you get up early for work now compared to your old shift where you used to be an afternoon, evening third shifter.
Yep. No, I enjoy a little bit of time in the morning before I go to work, drinking the coffee and stuff, so I get up a little bit early, and this just pushed me so early. And now I'm on break, and there's just no rules. It's just, I wake up at 3 a.m., and I'm like, I'd like a cup of coffee. So just get
Holidays
up for the day.
Are a little taste of retirement as a gift, as a Christmas gift.
And then you just go back to bed at 10 a.m. because, who cares? But, All right, tonight, or this afternoon, today on the show, we have our gameplay off the top as per usual, and it is one of our favorite kind of shows tonight. We've got some roundtable stuff.
What is it with the roundtable stuff?
Yeah, we'll get into that roundtable stuff, and then, let's see, we got a little bit of a game if there's time, and we've got some iguana bits as per usual, and then it looks like we have a couple of shouts on our way out the door as well. So why don't we just go ahead and roll right in, see what Ray was getting into, and say, hey, Ray, how are you feeling today, sir?
I'm feeling less banged up than I was, but...
Oh my God, this poor guy. We don't have to get into it, but everyone just kneel down and do a Tim Tebow for Ray this week, everybody.
Yeah, it's been a time, but so... In order to make myself, feel better, if you've hurt your toe, a lot of times, they'll smash your finger so that you forget about your toe.
On purpose.
Back into Starfield because...
What's the painful part?
Well, at first it was great. So I jumped back in because somebody got Starfield for Christmas. and I was excited about playing it. And that enthusiasm kind of, drew me back in. Gosh, it's been a long time since I've done it. So I hopped back in and
Love
did
that.
a little bit and, was playing my magnificently modded, Starfield adventure. And then, I got, there's more and more talk about stuff that was going on. And I'm like, I really lost touch with, the game as Todd intended. And so I purged all my mods.
Wow. Pure vanilla Starfield with all the updates and patches, but otherwise vanilla. How was it without that Star UI, Ray?
So with it was awkward.
It's the painful part, right?
It was clunky, without Star UI. But I found out that there's a couple of mods that I miss even more. The first one I noticed is that I run a no scanner vignette mod. So when I'm, walking around on a planet, my vision is perfectly clear. There's no vignette, there's no circle. And, that was pretty noticeable, but I could deal with it. It was no big deal. And then I was hopping around in my ship and came across a space battle as I was discovering a new planet. And all these ships are shooting at me, but I can't see anybody because I've got this big, giant notification in the middle of the screen telling me what my XP is, what the name of the planet is, how many
no.
ships in the solar system.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, where is my notification repositioning?
It can throw you off in the beginning of a battle. Yeah, if you log into a battle, I mean, one of the good things on console, at least, and I don't know about PC, is that when you load into a system, you usually have like a 5-second delay. So those pop-ups happen, and then they kind of appear as the other ships and anything else pop in.
So that was pretty brutal. I commandeered a ship and remembered, crap, I don't have a sit to add to fleet.
No, it's so much more difficult to commandeer a ship without that.
And so I had to fly back to New Atlantis and land at the spaceport and get my ship back. And, thank goodness there was no, contraband on board or anything. I desperately missed my interaction distance tweak. So when I'm in space and I'm going to loot a ship that I've blown up, I only have to get 1,500 meters.
Oh, wow. Not 500?
Yeah. And when I dock with a spaceport, I only have to be 1,000 meters away, not crashing into it as I'm waiting for, the press to hold R just to, get my ship to dock. I was missing my body looting. I wanted to be able to take those nice spacesuits from the dead people.
Yeah, because you can't. You only get the randoms. And loot all. I mean, there are so many niceties that you probably have on PC. Like, I only have official achievement-friendly creations installed. You have so many more.
Yeah. I went to upgrade my ship at my base shipbuilder, and I remembered, oh, yeah, that's right. You don't have access to every possible ship part without the Outpost Shipbuilder mod.
No, you can no longer buy Target brand at Walmart. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that was a bit of a trip. But probably the most annoying thing that was just going to make my brain break is the ship power allocation fix. So I've got a little mod that when you allocate power to your ship, those stay there all the time, every time.
You mean grav drive and engine doesn't reset or anything when you're not looking?
Exactly.
Oh, tell me about this life. Wow. Sorry you had to live like the rest of us.
Yeah, it's been fun. Hats off to Calm Horizon for, being a catalyst for my pain.
It's always awesome having new people jump into Starfield. Yeah, Calm Horizons, Matt in the Discord jumped in just a couple weeks ago. A friend Jordan just joined the Discord because he wanted to talk some Starfield to people who enjoy it. So yeah, we've still got a Starfield crew in the Discord. Rando just played this year for the first time. A lot of people still jumping in and hopefully more soon,
Yeah. So it's a great game. I still love it. Just not vanilla.
What was your hopefully more soon, rubbing your hands together. Are they expected another DLC soon or something?
Oh, yeah.
No, Starfield 2.0.
Is
Gosh,
there
Ray
is
knows
there
I
a
love
rumor
it when
going
people call
around?
it that. It's more than a rumor. We know updates are coming, and some of us have seen some of the updates, and some of the stuff coming. But it's something that they'll hopefully talk about soon, and then people will be able to discuss it.
Year. It'll be before the end of the year.
Wow, Ray. Let's raise those expectations a little bit. I mean, hopefully within the next month or two, we know what's happening, and I mean, hopefully it's even launching before too long. I'm rubbing my hands together again, you guys. I'm very excited.
Yeah. So when is the Xbox Direct?
I don't think they've set a date yet, but it should be by the end of the month. So I would guess 24th or sometime around then.
No, because that's the speculated information. And if they don't, oh my God.
Xbox Direct is
Pitchforks
normally
and torches in front of the Bethesda studios.
It will be a little bit because Xbox Direct is when Xbox usually goes into 3 to 5 games, usually 4 or 5 games, and there's usually at least one surprise that'll be coming out within the next, this calendar year. Often in the first half of the year, but not always. So Fable's going to be there, almost definitely. And then what else is going to be there? We don't know necessarily what's coming out this year for Xbox. So there's a lot of stuff that could. So yeah, but Starfield update being there would be cool.
Yeah. So I managed to do the, my usual, bit where I got the Frontier, flew off to Serpentis, got me some nice goodies, and came back. And so I did the Vanguard mission so that I could get the weapons. And bottom line is I'm torching this save and going back to modded.
Every once in a while, you got to do it. Every once in a while. But I'm glad it pulled you back in. And is Starfield what you've been mostly playing? Because we haven't talked since before Christmas, really. We haven't done a show since just before Christmas.
Yeah, it's pretty much all I've been playing. I have not had much game time because I've had a lot of downtime.
Floor time.
Yeah, literally laying on the floor. But that's all I've been playing for the past few days.
Cool.
Well, how about you, Jess? Did you get a chance to play any video games over the holiday break there?
Happily, I've been back in the saddle a bit there. So I've complained off and on about playing less games overall the last few months. But this holiday break, I did my usual kind of gaming catch up. I picked up a number of new games. I played a bunch of indie games and just kind of catching up some of my backlog. The problem is, and it's kind of that choice paralysis thing. I realized that part of what my issue has been recently is just that there's so many things I want to play that it makes it almost impossible to choose, So you just kind of split the difference while you're thinking about it and watch something instead. Because I still haven't, Outer Worlds 2. I really want to play that. But I mean, I've got so many others that I want to play. They're all calling me. But what I did play, so I went through a bunch of indies. Not that I necessarily need to share, but I would say one thing I've come to realize is that RPGs are kind of my favorite genre, and then I love adventure and I love strategy and tactics games. Like those are probably my top 3 genres. But right behind that, right after kind of like adventure, are storytelling branching narrative games, Some visual novels and stuff like that. I know some people don't find exciting, but when there's actually real choice and consequence, a lot of times that's what matters to me about a game. One of the things we love about New Vegas is the way you can approach quests from so many different directions. How a lot of these stories have branching paths and it leads to different endings. And a lot of games do that, and branching narrative games like, Disco Elysium or, even some of the Telltale stuff, which are kind of between that and, a classic adventure game. I like that. But there are 2 that I played recently that I just want to shout out real quick. So the last 2 weeks, I played a game called Bad End Theater. And I also finally played Slay the Princess, which came out almost 2 years ago, but then only came out on Xbox just about a year ago. And these are both branching narrative, kind of visual novels, kind of adventure games, but essentially you're in a loop and your character goes in and you run into a story and you make choices along the way. And the choices, the branching things you do, you get different endings. And these are both slightly horror games. Bad End Theater is just about all the miserable ways you can die. There are like 41 endings. I may have gotten them all in the last 2 weeks. There are 41 endings of Bad End Theater, and that one's fun. That's only a few hours, really. It's not that long. It took me maybe 5 hours to get everything, maybe 6. And then Slay the Princess is actually a psychological horror game where here's the setting, and this is great. It actually got some awards. and deservedly so now that I played it. The idea is you are a hero in the woods. You're on the way to a cabin. In the basement of the cabin is a princess, and you are here to slay her. And so what do you do from there? You're here, you're told that this person is going to end the world, that she's evil, but she's just a princess trapped in the bottom of a building. And the story, it grows and grows from there. But you keep getting in a loop, all these different ways of how you encounter the princess, how you deal with what happens. Is she evil? Is she not? What's the bigger story? And that kind of thing is really fun. So I probably played like 6 games over the last 2 weeks. I didn't complete them all, but I completed both of those 2 I just mentioned. So yeah, really enjoying that genre. But also, one thing I want to shout out, the game by Nate Perkypile. Y'all know him as the artist and lighting designer and all that from Skyrim and Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 and 76 and all that. Nate Perkypile, he left Bethesda a few years ago to start his own studio. His first solo game that came out was called The Axis Unseen. It actually just came out on Xbox a week and a half ago. So I actually got that installed and downloaded too. It's gorgeous, but I haven't played much yet. It's more of a survival hunting game. I think you played, Ray, right?
Yeah, I played it in early access.
Yeah. So I'm looking to play, the finished version on Xbox now, and it's really pretty. The idea is a heavy metal exploration hunting game, but, like fantastic hunting with a kind of horror creatures and stuff. Not totally my vibe, but it is. I don't love games that like jump scare you or like scare you too much. And I think it's going to, but I got to play some anyway.
Yeah. Well, and all the jump scares aren't necessarily visual.
Mm-hmm.
So you learn to become terrified of certain sounds.
I love that. That is such a feeling. Like the only thing I don't like about horror really is the jump scare. Like I don't mind psychological horror and spooky stuff and even like edge of your seat, like, ooh, something's lurking, like and after you. That's cool. But then when there's something lurking after you, suddenly boom in your face. That's when I jump and I squeal. Yeah. And I believe it was our friend Rando walking up to Big Mountain and had a death claw spawn right on top of him. Earlier, he said, good thing I wasn't streaming because I made a very... Might have squealed.
Squeal, yeah.
Happens to all of us. I totally do that too, every time. But so I got Axis Unseen. That's cool. And with some friends for Christmas, I actually got Dragon Quest III, the HD 2D remake. I talked about how they've been doing those 1, 2, and 3 coming out. So I got that because it's also on sale. So I got a couple of new RPGs to stick into. The choice paralysis will continue, but at least I have a lot of great games lined up. And I kind of broke that I don't know what to play. I've got more stuff to watch. Oh, then besides that, I mean, of course, I played a little bit of New Vegas, and I'm excited to get back in and play a lot this week leading up to, our next quest discussion next week when we go to deal with the Securitrons. Various paths. You don't have to go to deal with the Securitrons for NCR. In that case, there's a different steps to take if you do, right? I think, is this free play for NCR, Ray?
Yeah, my next quest is to go visit the Boomers.
Awesome. Yeah, so NCR, guys might be able to take the week off and do your own thing, free play. Those of us doing the Mr. House path, Yes Man, or of course the Legion are going to go visit the Legion and deal with the Securitrons and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to that in New Vegas this week coming up, but also the Fallout show. So last episode, the first had just aired. We had just watched it. Now we're 3 episodes in, and we're not spoiling it. But damn, it's good. Some people have watched episodes twice. Some of us are a little bit slower.
Yeah, every single episode has been the absolute best episode yet. They just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, episode 3, it seems like they really kick some stuff into high gear, which is great. But again, I know not everyone's watching it yet, so we won't belabor it. And as far as actually talking about it on a Vault Talk thing, we were maybe going to do something this weekend, but we changed our recording time, and we'll see. Our friend Will's probably going to join us. We have some ideas to start that soon and talk through it as always, because we do want to discuss. Also, if you're interested, I did join another podcast as a guest this past week, the Story Motors podcast, up on their YouTube to talk about episode 2, because a lot to talk about in there too, but mostly spoilers. Definitely a spoiler-filled discussion. But that's pretty much my gameplay. It's been a, great holiday week, really. Great holiday week or two. Like I said, we got to sleep in, relax, do whatever we want, play all the games we want. It's been pretty great.
I thought
It always is.
two games in there you mentioned sound really awesome. My dog is being crazy. All right, someone's gonna have to vamp for a second.
Okay. Well, let's see. Any games you got lined up that you want to play, Ray, or any plans about what you're going to play besides all that?
No, I really need to get back to Outer Worlds 2.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a bunch of stuff added to Stalker 2,
Oh, yes.
but that's a huge investment. That'll be after the roundtable, because when you get into a game like Stalker 2, that's all you can play.
Right, because it's kind of grueling and difficult, and you kind of have to be like in tune with it. You can't have this thing where you lose your muscle memory on the controls, right?
Yeah, it's not a game that you can play in little fits and starts. You've really got to bear down and spend a bunch of time dealing with it. Although, who knows? I mean, there's so much going on that, after the roundtable, I want to add the Lonesome 15.
Oh, yes, that mod looks good. Long 15.
Yeah.
That's what they call the Route 15 from the edge of the Mojave Outpost into irregular NCR territory, right? It's like the long road between Mojave Outpost and not necessarily Shady Sands, but somewhere there. The hub, maybe?
Interstate 15, which is the route that Southern Californians take to get to Las Vegas.
Right, perfect.
And so that's the main road. So the Mojave Outpost is on the Nevada side of the 15. And this is taking place in the town of Baker, which is the halfway point. So, everybody ends up stopping there. You either need gas or you need
thermometer
food. Yeah, it's got the giant thermometer.
And the Long 15 is the big DLC size mod that just released for New Vegas just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Definitely don't want to add it while I'm doing the roundtable, just in case, because, I'm an experienced modder and know better.
You should take that challenge, Ray. I'd say take it from the other angle. I'm an experienced modder. I can add whatever I want, whenever I want, and make it work.
Yeah.
Come on.
You literally said, and knows better.
Tinker.
But yeah, that. I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, that'll probably be right after the roundtable.
Yeah, along with New Vegas and all these other games. I really want to get back into Starfield too. You talking about it, Com Horizon's talking about it. New content coming. I did not play anywhere near enough in 2025, enough Starfield. It wasn't even in my top 3 play games. It was like number 4.
Yeah. It was my number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And No Man's Sky was number 1. So a lot of space.
A lot of spaces.
So I think I'm up over 2,000 hours in Starfield now.
It's awesome. I'm only about 900 total. I'm getting around 4,200 in 76 now, but we have friends that have hit that 7,600 mark. Just blows my mind. Y'all out there grinding it. That's amazing.
Yeah. No, I'm still short of 2,000. I'm at 1,800.
Okay. Still, that's double what I have in Starfield at 900 something. I'll let y'all know when I hit 1,000. How about you, Andrew? What have you been gaming the last 2 weeks?
Well, done lots of New Vegas stuff, but trying not to push through the main quest.
Mm-hmm.
So wandering around doing some side stuff, trying to get some helpful implements done. Like I finished up the Hidden Valley stuff. I did not replace McNamara. Kept him in charge. Got the power armor training. So I have some power armor now. Conveniently from earlier in the game when you start shaking stuff up down there and you try to leave and they jump you as you leave the door. So I had 5 or 6 sets of power armor sitting in a chest back at...
Oh, wait, you got the ones where the Brotherhood weren't too happy about you hanging out?
Yeah. After they jump you, they attack you. You can't talk your way out of that interaction.
I thought you could talk your way out of that, but I haven't done it yet.
I didn't have the speech at that point yet. I now have a speech of 100, so now I could, but at that point I did not have the speech of 100, if that is a possibility. So anyway, I had a nice stash of different power armor. And I didn't realize they were wearing like different makes, so you can mix and match. They have different letters and stuff too. So I was going to ask you guys what all that stuff model numbers indicate. Like they got the T51D instead of B, I think. And, just different stuff like that. I was just like, oh, I wonder what that indicates. Is that like, ooh, the visor is tinted. Like, it's tinted for sand instead of, smog or something. So, I don't know. Like,
I mean, I think the T-51D might be one that you get in like Fallout Shelter, right? Or
I have no idea.
They have different options.
I don't remember the letters exactly. I just remembered that the one in New Vegas that I just saw, I was like, ooh, I think that's a new letter. It wasn't the T-51B. I know that was the one I'm used to.
The different letters generally indicate, levels of advancement and toughness. So like the clearest example is in Fallout 4. How it's implemented there. You know what I mean? Whereas as you upgrade your chest piece and this and that, you make it tougher.
Just gotta have the mark numbers, yeah. So I've been running around, got the power armor. Let's see, I did the boomers thing. I'm trying to get the rebreather, but I was doing the other quests for them up there. We'll get into their quests more here in a few weeks, I think. But I wanted to get that rebreather thing just because there's water in one of the vaults that you have to get that McNamara sends you to get. No, not McNamara. One of the guys down at Hidden Valley, in order to revamp the air filtration system, which is getting clogged over time, sends you out to get a few parts at different vaults. Mm-hmm. And one of them, I thought, it turns out you don't need to go through the water, but I thought that you had to go underneath the water and find your way all the way through, and I kept drowning.
Oh, yeah, of course, in your power armor.
Yes. So I wanted to go get the rebreather, but I ended up doing all like the ant one, and if you go to the medical tent and you don't have the medical skills, you can still try to heal them, but they're like, could you please stop? You're going to kill them.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. Let's see. I got the young lovers together. I think it's called Young Love is the sub quest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, at Gamora. So with the Omertas, right?
No, this is still up at the Boomers. There's a young guy who wants scrap metal all the time, and he's fallen in love with a Crimson Caravan.
Yeah, okay, the Boomer-related one.
A young redhead.
Been watching through his binoculars.
They watch each other through binoculars and fell in love. It's weird. They're stalking each other.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not doing the Boomers till we get there a little bit later in the story, but I mean, obviously, if
we'll get more
part.
into it then. But I just had trouble getting into her because of my whole relationship. So
heavy quotes.
But I've already done the Mr. House thing, right? And they reset all of my reputations. Mm-hmm. I got talked to by each of the NCR and the Legion. Said, "Hey, come talk to us." Yep. Got all that reset and everything. But still, when I tried to approach either the Mojave Outpost or the Caravan Crimson or whatever, they would still attack on sight, even though I was like nullified or whatever.
That's unusual. Wait, are you wearing Legion garb or something again? Are you wearing fox hat?
I don't think I was wearing a fox. I don't think so. But I have been switching outfits a lot because one of my things is to be constantly tinkering in my Pip-Boy, which I am. I'm switching stuff around. I think I was wearing power armor. Are they immediately shoot on sight against Brotherhood? I didn't think they were.
They might actually.
Yeah, because the NCR fought the Brotherhood at
Helios. I forgot about the Helios.
Yeah. Oh no, Brotherhood and NCR. I mean, that's the whole reason Brotherhood's in hiding because they've been at war.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're wearing officially the Brotherhood T-51B, and I think it's B that you get in New Vegas, not D. I'm not sure.
No idea.
D's the T-45D.
But there is non-Brotherhood power armor too, which might make a difference.
Yeah.
There's non-Brotherhood power armor. Is it Raider?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's just regular.
Interesting. Cool. So I got the bright idea. Ooh, maybe I just need some NCR clothing, right? So I went back and looked in my Good Spring chest. What's his name? The robot house, that guy. Victor? Is it Victor? It's not Victor, is it? Victor.
No, well, it depends. Did you install Yes Man at this point? Like, is that the path you're doing?
I haven't
Overhouse? Okay, you haven't done that yet.
No. I don't think... Do you have to do it in order to leave the conversation?
No.
Okay, I might not have done it yet. I don't remember.
No, you can put it off a little bit.
So I went back and I looked in my box. Oh, crap. I don't have any NCR armor. How is that possible? I don't have any NCR hats or anything.
You sold it all for parts.
Fuck. I went back down to the Mojave, just the Mojave outpost, just say, hey, guys, this is going. Can I buy some art? And they attacked me on sight. So you didn't see me around the corner. Got one guy that stole his armor off his corpse. And then went back up to Good Springs. I dismissed... What is her name? Not Victoria. What's her name?
Veronica.
I dismissed Veronica and Eddie. I left them there in Good Springs, and then I went by myself, dressed in my NCR stuff, to the Crimson Caravan outpost thing. And then they finally let me in. I'm not sure if it's the outfit or the follower shooting on sight.
It was
the
most
outfits.
likely the power armor. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I got out of all that stuff, but I'm still my reputation isn't any better with them, which I was puzzled by.
Well, wait, if you look at your reputation in the Pip-Boy, it doesn't currently say neutral or something?
It does. When you highlight
Okay.
on the map, when I highlight the Mojave Outpost or the Crimson Caravan, it says neutral.
Okay, then that's good.
So it
yeah,
had to
and
be,
it should
had
say
to
in your
be
Pip-Boy
the
too.
okay. So that proves it had to be the outfit then. Okay.
Yep.
All right, but anyway, I figured that out. Got NCR clothing on, went and talked to the lady, sent her up, and anyway, did all that. We'll get into those later. But I just thought, just trying to figure out the whole reputation thing with clothing and all that stuff. Let's see
Just
what else
look for
we
the
get
name
into.
of the faction in it. You know what I mean? If it
Yeah.
says Brotherhood Power Armor,
Yeah, but then
you
you
know
got.
that's bad.
But it's not just okay. It reminds you constantly. Oh, you are still dressed as some blah blah blah.
It does sometimes,
It doesn't.
yeah.
It doesn't say you are still dressed as a member of blah blah blah, which means you have a problem with these factions, which is what I would need for that to make sense. You know what I mean? I need a one step further of hey, you can't go to these places wearing this armor.
You're like, I don't want to deal with politics, guys.
Yeah,
I'm not here to talk politics.
I'm just roaming
Yeah.
around here having a good time. I'm gonna keep my nose out of it. I hate everybody. I just kill everybody on sight. Come on. I watched episode 3 of the show. Jess, be so proud. Ray is correct to be excited about this show this season. I have to admit I was a little bummed that they were going to go the New Vegas route just because, me and my stubborn grumpiness of everyone loves New Vegas, but I think Fallout 4 is the best, blah, blah, So everyone's so excited about the New Vegas season, and we're doing a New Vegas season. And I do have to admit, I am having a lot more fun in New Vegas this time than previous playthroughs.
Third time is a little more of the charm.
Yeah, fourth or fifth, eighth time is the charm, I guess. But we're watching the show, and on the show, I was like, why do they got to make it New Vegas-centric? Why can't you go somewhere cool like the Commonwealth or something? And then, starts getting a little cool. Just getting cooler. But Ray is correct in saying that I think each episode is getting better than the last. And I don't think it picked up at a low spot either, if that makes sense. I think that it kind of picked up on the great momentum at the end of season 1 and just sort of hit the ground running. And it's been totally enjoyable. I find myself wanting to be like one of those critics who's like watching for things because like you hear online just how terrible the season is. I haven't found one goddamn thing wrong with it. And I am not the lore guy who can pick and pinpoint, they got, that Nuka-Cola bottle was clearly not printed until 2248 and they have the 2256 version. Oh my God, how dare they? I am not that kind of, details guy to pick out lore problems, etc. You know what I mean? But just anything I've read is just how terrible the season has been so far, and it is just I don't know. It's fantastic as far as I can tell.
Overall sentiments really good. Yeah, the season is even higher rated than the first one. Overall, it's just the people who do want to pick on some of those things are tearing it apart. It's 90% of the complaints are creative license. We all know I had a couple real complaints about the first season, but I loved it. And this season, a couple small lore complaints, but not really. It's not as much this season, you know, as far as like the big things go so far.
Well, I've been enjoying it.
And, you figured New Vegas is such a minefield for lore questions because there's so many options of how the game can play.
Yeah, everything branches.
To be able to negotiate through without canonizing any, ending is going to be a real.
Well, they just have to avoid all that material then, right? They can't decide who wins the NCR Legion. We're not going to get an answer to who wins the NCR Legion war at the dam at the end of this series.
No,
they can't decide.
And they even did a great job of dealing with with Kaisar.
Oh yeah,
right. The two, right. How they did that. You're correct. I almost went into it. Don't go into it. I almost went into it.
Yeah, we're and we're just starting to get little hints about what's to come with Mr. House. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they've done a great job of kind of
Breadcrumbs.
going through without stepping on anything.
Walking the line in a very difficult area. Yeah, because like you said, there's a lot of ways things can branch and permute. But, 16 years gives you a little bit of plausible deniability. You're like, we're just not going to touch a few of these questions.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we stop up at Rick and Morty's store. Could be the best. Let's see. Power armor I got on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day after Christmas. I got that, Nordic feeling, so I hopped into Skyrim for a couple days and just ran around. I downloaded 2 different Santa Claus mods. One where you get Santa Claus as a follower with an access point underneath the Breeze home, and some inappropriately dressed elven ladies down there, Jess. Booberella would be... Boobenstein would be very...
Bubenstein, which, by the way,
Offended.
Ray found an old relative of hers.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Back in 2077, they used a different spelling, but it's got to be the same. The same family. Because, if you're going to change your name from Bubenstein, to Bubenstein, it was pretty interesting. I was watching the video.
A dirty video.
This guy reads every terminal entry he finds in, as he's playing Cyberpunk. And all of a sudden I hear Bubenstein. I'm like, what? Wait a minute.
Yeah, there's a Cyberpunk Fallout crossover here.
Yeah. And then, it was kind of cracked me up because the timeline works. Southern California, 2077.
Yep.
Figured it
An old relative.
Must be somebody that was a relative.
Thought that was great. But yes, Skyrim calls us all this time of year. No surprise about the Santa Claus mods either.
Yeah, it's fun because I got Santa Claus as a follower, but the quest I also downloaded was a Go Rescue Santa Claus mod. And the first thing was, you have to go up to Dawn Star where it's cold all the time. And the character I loaded, I must be playing, they don't call it survival mode, do they? I don't know what they call it in Skyrim. But, I'm cold all the time, and I have to eat and shit. And I'm like, who turned this shit on? What was
Yeah, that's survival mode.
What the fuck was I doing?
You did when you started the game.
God damn it.
It's just habit now.
As soon as you come out of the cave.
Yeah. But anyway, I had all that stuff. So when I was Dawn Star, freezing to death. But anyway, you meet Jesus Christ on the beach. And
This is a mod, y'all.
This is a mod. And Jesus has a plot to go rescue Santa Claus from these pirates who have kidnapped him and put him on this ship. Anyway, I didn't get deep into it at all. I just sort of kicked it off and started and ran around with Santa for a little bit. But so that was fun. It's really cool seeing the Santa robes with the armor and stuff they kind of layered in. People get really creative. It's really neat to see all the armor. It was really
Did they
fun.
try to Skyrim it up and call it Saturalia and stuff like that?
Yeah, of course.
It
was called...
Awesome.
Yeah, something like that, exactly. Yeah, so that was really fun for a couple days. I just happened to be an ice wizard, ice mage, so that fit well. So I was running around having fun with that. What else? I mentioned the rebreather, the Crimson Caravan stuff, the power armor. Oh,
The Switch 2.
Yeah, Mo got a Switch 2 for Christmas, so we've been playing lots of Mario Kart World. It's super duper fun. It's really interesting. It's a new twist in that there's an open world aspect to it, so you can drive around the open world in between the tracks, between the races. So it's kind of strange, but you can earn different skins and different outfits and stuff like that by doing different little tasks out and about in the open world. It's just a totally different take. It's a great spin. Mario Kart's always just been here, go to this race, do this race. It hasn't had ever, a list of achievements and weird stuff to find. So that's kind of fun that they're adding that sort of stuff to Mario Kart. So Mo and I are in the process of unlocking all the skins and cars and outfits and all that sort of stuff. Super duper fun. I expect that we will soon be getting the new Donkey Kong Bonanza as well, because that looks super fun. And I like Donkey Kong a lot. Anyway, that's probably my gameplay. We got lots of roundtable stuff to get into this week, so we should probably just leave it at that. And let's say, hey guys, Jess, did you have any order you want to do these in, or how they came in?
I'm happy with the order you put, if you like, with how they came in, yeah.
All right, so we'll just roll right here. The first person we heard from was our good buddy Jeff. Let's get into some roundtable stuff.
What is it with the roundtable stuff?
Hey, follow feed. Jeff and Cleveland here with this week's adventures of Hazel Bellwether. Hex has been busy. She's currently at level 14 with most of her tag skills maxed out. Her repair skills at 100. Her gun skills at 92 and her explosive skills at 85. Her intelligence and luck have been raised up by 1 each after she went under the needle and got herself some implants. Her left boob gave her luck and her right boob gave her some intelligence. With a luck of 8 now, she has now been banned from every casino in New Vegas and all the surrounding areas. I guess 54,000 caps is just going to have to do for now. When it came to Benny, I talked Swank into let me search Benny's room before I even talked to Benny. After speaking with the yes man and searching around Benny's room, I confronted Benny in the casino, but I used my charm, my Black Widow perk, and my newfound implants while wearing my sexy sleepwear to convince him to join me in his room for a little extracurricular activities. He said I was crazier than he thought, and he was excited to join me. When he eventually got up there and joined me, he got more than he bargained for. I shot him dead with my silenced 22 that I was able to smuggle in past the guards. So there he is, laying dead in his room. Stripped his body, took his gun Maria, took his suit, and I just slyly walked out of the casino wearing his checkered suit with no one none the wiser. Before she made it to the casino, she had the adventure between Boulder City and the Strip. She had a few stops in between. She ended up stopping at the Aerotech office park, and she helped out Captain Parker track down some missing refugees, including some little girl, cute little girl that had a very distinct teddy bear. So he told me to just keep an eye out for that teddy bear. It might help. He sent Hazel over the west side to question a few guys that the refugees have been seen talking to recently. When questioning St. James in West Side, you simply ask him, hey, I'm looking for a few people. I have some questions. He immediately responds as like, I don't know anything about any refugees missing from Aerotech. Kind of funny that I didn't mention anything about Aerotech at all. So I immediately knew he was hiding something. After talking to a few people around, talked to one of the prostitutes, which after you give her a couple caps, she gives you his St. James's key to his apartment. So you go up, Hazel went upstairs and she searched Dermot's apartment, which was St. James's partner. And there you find a ledger with some incriminating evidence. And then when you go into St. James's apartment, you find the teddy bear. And that matches the description of the little girls, which definitely some damning evidence right there. When you were talking to that prostitute that gives you his key, she also says that St. James likes to prop that teddy bear up on the dresser to watch when he is using her services. Pretty sick fuck, if you ask me. After confronting him and his buddy, they immediately attack Hazel, but she makes small work of them with her caravan shotgun that she's been rolling with since day one. She returned to Captain Parker with the bad news. Unfortunately, the refugees are nowhere to be found, but the evidence is damning, and there's just a bunch of dead bodies over there in West Side. But at least there's closure. We know what happened to them. We don't know where they're at. We don't know, but we do know what happened to them. After leaving Aerotech, she stumbled upon Camp McCarran. She helped Major Daughtry a couple bounties. She made sure she aimed low for all 3 targets and was able to bring back undamaged heads. Pretty rough way to prove I killed the correct bounty, but I get it. I got to earn the trust of the NCR. I've also convinced Corporal Betsy to seek treatment for her trauma. She got messed up in one of the battles, not physically but mentally. But she was afraid that seeking mental help will make her seem weak. But I convinced her that seeking help for mental trauma doesn't make you weak. It'll make you stronger. It's just like being treated for a physical injury. She was reluctant at first, but eventually she came around. Nobody should be ashamed or afraid to seek mental help. After a few weeks of running around the wasteland seeking her would-be killer, Benny is now dead, and Hazel's going to take a little break. After her small vacation, she's going to try to enroll in the NCR military. Since the next week's NCR scheduled quests are free play, she's just going to keep on working with the NCR, trying to get her rep up, and hopefully become a full-fledged member of the military and an NCR citizen. I know it's a few days late, but I hope everybody had a great holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, I hope it was great. This has got to be the best community on the internet. Thanks, Andrew, Ray, and Jess for keeping this thing going for all these years.
Oh, Jeff.
And until next time, remember, nobody loves you till somebody loves you. And that somebody is me. I love you.
Oh, Jeff, such a sweetheart.
Perfect sign off. Thank you, Jeff.
He included a comment in his email. I forgot to mention in my feedback, Mr. New Vegas loves Big Iron. He played it once, made his news report, said, I'm going to play you my absolute favorite song, and then played Big Iron again. Then he played Johnny Guitar, then Big Iron again. He must have played it 8 times in that hour. My wife and I were cracking up every time it kept coming on. It must be his favorite. I didn't realize that it wasn't a set playlist. Are they all?
No, there's a lot of randomized stuff in the radio, and Big Iron isn't always his favorite song.
They just randomly have his commentary spliced between different songs.
It's a bit of mix and match. Yeah, if you go through his dialogue files, there's like 20 some minutes of various mix and match. You know, like probably a bunch of specific song intros, but probably 10 to 15 generic song intros, 10 to 15 generic song outros. Like, your experience is always different. Mr. New Vegas keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, which is great because it does make it easier to listen for a long time.
Exactly. Never know what you're going to hear.
Is Fallout 4 a playlist? Is it repetitive or is it also generated?
I mean, I think Travis is the same. I feel like Travis might have a little less, but I actually haven't compared the length of their custom phrases between 4 and New Vegas Radio.
Number of songs, are they comparable? Does one have a more...
I wonder if Travis, having both nervous Travis and confident Travis, there's as much, but there's less variety. There's fewer for nervous and fewer for confident, even if there's more overall.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
Yeah.
What is up with this teddy bear? He kept mentioning a distinctive teddy bear.
Oh, okay. So that's the St. James.
Aerotech, I think he said. Aerotech teddy bear, is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk to that at all, Ray, but St. James, I mean, he's a character that this is some of the West Side stories, right? So there's Freeside on the north side of the strip, but then there's West Side, which is, northwest of the strip and that whole area there. And, it's got its own vendors, pawn shop. It's got the Casa Madrid Apartments, which is kind of a bordello. A couple of prostitutes work out of there. And they talk about St. James, who is a character that I believe is antagonizing them. Do you remember more of his story?
No, it's been a while because it's so gross.
Yeah,
I did it once and then purged it.
Yeah, if I remember, St. James he's actually a slaver. Like, he does it on the sly, but he and somebody else, they capture and they sell people into slavery with the fiends. So he's a bad dude, but he's also, I believe he has...
Child molester?
Yes, a child molester. And somehow they keep it in check with the teddy bear. There's a whole story there about what he has done to one of the residents. And, you can help take care of that, which is probably a good thing to do.
Sorry I brought it up.
So,
yuck.
Yeah, no, but that's why Jeff mentioned it's one of those darker stories in New Vegas where you can, at least you can resolve some of the evil in this world.
Yeah.
All right. And he shot Blow to have undamaged heads at some point. What is that?
So that's when you do the quest for the NCR to collect the 3 bounties.
And these is so he can put them on a pike? That sounds like something Kaisar would do, not
Well, no,
NCR.
he wants to be able to positively identify them.
Oh, I see. Okay. That makes sense.
And so if you shoot him in the head, instead of getting, a pristine head, you get a mangled head.
And you can't positively ID.
Like, yeah, I'm not going to really pay you full price for this head.
Yeah, it's missing most of the face part.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite of the Fallout 3 quest. You got to shoot him in the head. Yeah, you got to preserve
shoot
the head.
under the head. You got to shoot him in the neck.
Keep it pristine, like Caleb Bradburn. Head in a jar. But yeah, and then also he talks about dealing with Benny. Taking the Benny route. I love the fact that he, took Maria, took the suit, just waltzed out. I mean, I think a lot of us did. I waltzed out wearing the suit too. It's basically, we went upstairs to the Benny, styling salon. He got us all dressed up, all looking dapper. We just walked out. That's all they think.
Yep.
Can I silence Maria? Can I mod that gun?
There is a 9mm silencer. Whether or not it'd go on Maria or not, I'm not sure.
And why wouldn't it? Is Maria technically a
they're kinda weird
9mm,
about that.
but technically already modded gun since it already does more damage, therefore you can't
Once they
add more
get there-
mods to the already modded gun or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know that you can or can't.
Yeah, same. Once they get a name, sometimes the mods don't attach.
They're done,
And I
okay.
feel like it wouldn't. But then again, if you can repair it with
I
other
just
9
didn't see
millimeters,
it as
maybe.
an option. I was trying to do stuff to it, and I couldn't bring it up anywhere.
We have confirmation from John in the chat that he tried putting 9mm scopes on it and it wouldn't take it. Most
Okay.
likely not.
All right. Because, I got a sneak of 100. If I could get a silencer on Maria, it would just be... You got to give the bad guys a chance, I guess. Maybe I don't.
Exactly. Well, speaking of John, do you want to jump into his feedback next?
Hey, John.
This is John with my New Vegas feedback on Ring and Ding. So I do need to do some catch up from the last feedback that I missed, but I'll do that at the end. So Butch picked up Cass after she agrees to McCaffrey's offer. And then Butch, Cass, and Eddie head to the Atomic Wrangler to get Jameson to quit for McClafferty. He does it by threatening to tell the Emeritus that Jameson couldn't pay his gambling debt. He decides that it's better just to quit. They then return to McClafferty. I'm going to mess that name up every time. Anyway, they return to her to let her know that she owns Cassidy Caravan and that Jameson agreed to resign. Butch then heads to Tron to sell off some Legion armor from the assassins that were sent after Butch, after he took up Volpe's advice to kill him if he didn't like what he was doing. So after selling the gear, Cass asks to go pay respects to her burned caravan. They find the spent laser rifle cartridges and the piles of ash, and Cass becomes suspicious. Now she wants to look at the other caravan that was sacked that she heard about. So right about here, I started taking notes during the game, and the game did that spinning around the courier thing, and that's when I noticed that Butch was just wearing his underwear. So Butch, Cass, and Eddie make a detour to go buy his lightweight armor that I accidentally sold to Vendertron. I know it's just a game, but I swear I could see Butch's eyes roll. Anyway, they find the second caravan, and Cass finds a map to their planned caravan attack, and they head over there and find the dead Van Graff guards from the Silver Rush Casino. Cass puts two and two together, and now she wants revenge against McClafferty and the Van Graffs. Butch heads over to the Crimson Caravan office and picks McClafferty's office safe and finds the agreement between the McClafferty and the Van Graffs. Butch then convinces Cass to let him get more evidence, and they head to the Silver Rush. Butch has Eddie and Cass stay outside and heads into the casino, where he leaves his weapons on the outside in that container before he enters. Then after entering, he watches Gloria have, it's either a man or a mannequin, I can't remember what it was. They returned to ash after some other guy was trying to renegotiate the deal they had. Butch then heads to a bathroom and uses stealth boy to try and pick the lock on the office door. The door is a hard lock. I think it's a 70 or 75, but Butch only has 52 lockpick. Then Butch picks Gloria's pocket and gets the door key, and then he finds out that the safe is a hard lock as well, and it won't open with the key. Butch then heads back out and has Eddie and Cass follow again. I think it's amazing how much longer the stealth boys last in the New Vegas compared to 4. I think it's like 20 seconds or something. Anyway, or 20 seconds in 4. Butch then heads to the Vegas gates, and he's allowed to enter due to his caps being over 7,000. They meet Victor again, and after he tells Butch to meet Mr. House before going to see Eddie, Butch instead heads to the tops to see Eddie. Butch shows the guy Swank the lighter from and the cigarettes from Benny. Benny says he needs more evidence, so he sends Butch to Benny's room to see if he can find more evidence. When he gets up there, he finds Yes Man, and he finds out what Benny's planning because Yes Man can't say no. Yes Man's my favorite character in this thing, and he just cracks me up every time. So after talking to Yes Man, Butch returns to Swank, and Swank sends Butch back up to meet Benny in his room. Usually, I must have more speech when I talk to Swank because it seems like Benny is usually down in the casino when he wants to talk to him. But this time he sends me up to his room, to Benny's room. Anyway, Benny is, of course, surprised at how well Butch is doing and tries to send Butch to the presidential suite. But Butch isn't having it and suggests that they go together. Benny refuses, and Butch puts Benny down with that gun. That's the one he bought off of Cliff Briscoe at the dynamite gift shop in Novak. Butch heads back down to Swank, and of course Swank is not too upset that he's the sole owner of the tops now. Alright, this is getting long, so I'm just going to go over Butch's stats. So he's got Barter of 70, Guns of 70, and Survival of 70, and those are the ones that got rolled. His other stats are Energy Weapons 17 plus, Explosives is 17 plus, Lockpick is 52 plus, and Medicine's 30, Melee is 17, Repair is 35, Science is 32, Sneak is 20, and Unarmed is 20. I can't remember what his specials are right now, but I don't think it's much more than what he was rolled. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys letting me do this. I'm sorry I missed last time. I'll try to maybe catch up, but it's not, I don't think it's too important. Anyway, really, again, appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in the wasteland. Bye.
Thank you so much there, John. He mentioned he had a 70 in survival. What does survival do for you running around in the wasteland? What does that affect? Is there just like a survival check at some point? Like, oh, you've been bitten by a rattlesnake. If you have a survival of 70, you live. If not, you're
there are a lot of survival checks.
How do they present themselves? How do they manifest?
Just like all the other, speech checks in the game. So if you've got a medicine of 30, you can do this. If you've got if you have a survival of this, you can do that.
Yep. It also makes a lot of the stuff, like the campfire stuff, you unlock some recipes and it makes them more effective too. So like, how at the beginning you learn how to make, you can do the healing powder and the various things. You can cook a gecko steak, stuff like that. If you have a higher skill, you're going to get more nourishment from that. You're going to get more HP from that. So you're kind of upping your ability with it.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. You mentioned Stealth Boys last a lot longer in New Vegas. I didn't even realize that.
2 minutes. So it's a huge difference. Like Fallout 4 is like you pop one and run. In Fallout New Vegas, you can kind of whistle. You can kind of take your time. You can browse Gloria's pockets,
Yeah, it's 30 seconds in Fallout 4. And
that's like stealth
2 minutes. Now, if you've taken the Logan's Loophole perk, which makes you immune to addiction and doubles the duration of all chems, basically all consumables.
Mm-hmm.
Stealth boys are consumables.
So you get 4 minutes out of a single stealth boy?
4 minutes. If you have Logan's Loophole, you get 4 minutes on a stealth boy.
Why do you think
if you were to do Logan's Loophole as Logan's Run, you could cross the map in that time.
Yeah. It's pretty funny how they categorize stuff. But yeah, also, the guy writing the description and the guy writing the code and implementing it into the game are clearly two different people, because the description will say stuff like, so Logan's Loophole, you can't become addicted to alcohol, and alcohol, duration doubles.
It only lists alcohol, but it applies to all consumables.
All consumables. So it also applies to drugs. So with Logan's Loophole, you can't get addicted to drugs, and it also, because Stealth Boy is listed as a consumable, doubles the stealth point.
Wow. Sounds like a loophole.
It does, doesn't it?
Exactly. No, that's beautiful. He starts off the feedback too, mentioning, going to Vendertron to sell armor. And it made me think, is Vendertron outside of New Vegas there on the south side, is he the best vendor in the game? Like as far as like in the base game for selling stuff? Is it Rick and Morty? Is it Vendertron? Is it like the local 188 guy or Chet? I feel like Vendertron is probably number one, isn't he?
I mean, I don't know. Number one would just indicate they have the most caps.
Yeah, I was about
he's
to
got a
say,
lot
how
of
do you
caps.
rank them? By their inventory or by their bank?
Valuable inventory and number of caps. And I guess I don't, it's been long enough I don't remember who has max caps, but I feel like Vendertron has max caps or at least close to it.
Chet's around 2,000 each time I visit him, but he's the one I go to the most just because I'm unaware of where all the good ones are. So why don't we inform Andrew where all the good vendors are to go to? Vendertron, how many caps does he have, Ray, when you show up? And is that affected by your like barter or speech or something?
I don't think that impacts the amount of caps they have.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think that affects the caps either, but there are things to make them have a slightly higher cap supply. But yeah, I
So
guess I'm not
looks
remembering.
Looks like he can have up to 8,000 caps.
I know he's high.
Okay.
High. And Rick and Morty's probably like half that, right? They're probably like 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, I think they're pretty standard. Yeah, so, I mean, you start off with Chet and then Johnson Nash.
Mhm.
Once you get Prim cleared up, he becomes a vendor.
Mojave Outpost
And
vendor
the
there with
LCR down
Quartermaster.
there in the corner.
Yeah,
right?
Lacey.
Yep.
I also, cleaned her out for a couple of thousand caps in a game of Caravan.
Right. No, she's good. The next big vendor you get to, I mean, they're the Caravanners in Novak, I suppose, and Cliff Briscoe, right? Is that the next vendor you get to, really?
Yeah, well, and then you find the traveling
Cliffs and the dinosaur,
merchants.
right?
Mm-hmm.
They've usually got, between 1,000 and 2,000.
Yeah, I run into them a few times. Do they, I assume, have a standard route, or are they just sort of random?
I think they're pretty standard.
Yep. Unless mods change it. Like, I feel like I'm seeing them a little more often now than I did in the base game, but I think it's a standard route, like Ray's saying.
Yeah. Cliff is a good one.
Then you get Old Lady Gibson has a little, but the guy under the 188, the Gunrunner's Arsenal guy underneath the overpass, because you got two there. You can buy at the overpass, of course, up top at local 188. But then
the guy with the truck.
Right. I keep calling it local, just the 188, not local.
Yeah.
I'm unionizing them. I don't know why. And then you got underneath, you got the Gunrunners guy, and he's great, but not quite as great as Vendertron.
Yeah, if you have at least 40 in guns.
Right.
Because if you
gotta
don't have
skill.
a 40 in guns, he won't talk to you.
No, you got to know how to handle the
Really?
merchandise.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Little things like that in New Vegas are just one of the things that makes it kind of great. Yeah. And then, right, Crimson Caravan. Calm Horizons chat mentioning the guy in Crimson Caravan. Once you get in there and they're not shooting at you, Andrew, you can do, I mean, there are a number of quests there too, of course, and Pass's quest will take you there, but.
Yeah. Other people have a lot of options that Andrew doesn't.
when you don't shoot everyone in the face right when you meet them, it helps.
But yeah, so you got the Caravan, you got Vendertron. Vendertron is on the south side of New Vegas, like by the East Gate there. So if you make your way to where the Crimson Caravan is, they're kind of just down and around the corner of the New Vegas wall.
When I got
Yeah.
into the, what is it? The Caravan, Outpost Crimson Caravan, the first voice I hear is Ringo flagging me down. I got my deck finally, you guys.
Woohoo!
Now I need to learn how to play.
Congratulations.
He asked me
Now
to
you can
play.
lose with the rest of us.
He asked me to play, and then there's all these caps and money sitting on the table. I'm like, wait a second, I thought this was a card game. Like, I know so little about it that I forgot that there's an ante-up portion first before you go into the card stuff. And then, like, I go to the cards, and I'm just, like, looking at them. It's like, well, Ray said something about tens and jacks, I think. I don't remember what he said. So I'm like, I have no idea. Is there not a lesson or something? Like, is there a, hey, these are the rules somewhere? Nothing at all like that?
He gives you a holotape too. When you get the deck, he gives you a holotape with basic rules too.
All
You
right,
gotta
so
go to
I need to
miscellaneous.
listen to that holotape first, I think.
Yeah,
What you
but
need to
it won't-
do is
it's
watch a
not
YouTube
really,
video.
Yeah, it's not really going to help that much.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No.
So I'll watch a YouTube video, see what the rules are. It kind of looked like an up the river, down the river type of game, I think. But I can't really tell. I'll see if I can learn how to play a little bit.
Yeah.
You can play that pretty much anywhere. It seemed like you were associating them with vendors a lot. Do most vendors also play Caravan?
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of them do, yeah.
Weird. Okay.
But they're typically limited to 5 games.
All right. Well, I don't know if I
So-
could tolerate much more than losing 5 games in a row. That's probably a steep learning curve for me.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, watch the videos. I mean, they're generally pretty helpful, and at least it'll give you a leg up when you start trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, I have lost to Johnson Nash because basically he had probably 20 more cards in his deck than I did.
Yeah, and you ran out of cards because
And
that'll happen.
Yeah, I ran out of cards, and
Do
so
they get to keep your cards?
No.
Okay.
No,
That's
You
like
keep your caps,
the
though.
winner keeps the cards too, or something. It's like, whoa,
No.
that's brutal.
yeah, that would be because then I would be completely out of good cards.
You've used them all.
But, keep at it. Eventually you get there. You get that Caravan Master achievement. That was one of my proudest New Vegas moments was getting that.
How many hands you got
shout
to win
out-
to do that? Is that like a 50 hand thing? 100 hands or something
You
crazy?
need to win 30 games of Caravan. Just
Good
30
Lord.
games of Caravan.
Just 30. That's all.
Yeah,
Get,
but in order to learn, play No Bark.
And
'cause
Novak, right? He's a Novak.
Yeah,
Yes.
in Novak, because you can, play for a relatively small amount of caps and play him over and over and over and over.
Oh, I was just going to say, no, if you got more to talk about, we should, but we got a lot of feedback to get to, so I just wanted to hit a couple more things on John's feedback real quick. Selling his armor accidentally at Vendor Tron. If you do
Oops.
find the best vendor, don't sell him what you're wearing.
In your underpants.
Important tip. Very important tip. I also love the fact he did the Cass quest, because he's got Cass with him as his companion this playthrough. And she was one of my favorites early on. I've learned to love the others. She was one of my favorites early on, and I do like that quest, investigating what happened with the caravans, getting to where you're investigating the Van Graffs, and you find out, what's happening with them and her story. And it sounds like he's most of the way there, but he can't quite finish it yet because it is a difficult area. He was stealthing around and investigating their store to find out more about them. But he'll probably come back to that later.
Fortunately, when he got to that site of the attack from the Van Graffs, they're all wearing that black combat armor.
Yeah. Good
And so
stuff.
you can scoop all that up and get it all repaired up nice, and you get a nice shiny set of black Van Graff armor.
Is it more financially beneficial to sell 20 suits of armor or to repair them down to the best one and sell that?
I always repair down to the best and sell that. Sometimes it is on a bit of a curve. Like you may actually get a little more money maybe if you're going to sell a bunch of halfway repaired suits. I don't know. I haven't really done the math. But for carrying purposes, for weight purposes, it's easier to just repair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Repairs.
Yeah.
So you're not
don't
carry as
repair them
much
all the way up. Definitely don't repair anything over half
before selling, you mean?
before
Okay.
selling it. Yeah.
Only repair to halfway and then sell.
Unless you're over cucumbered. Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget that is the method to get weight away in this game. Is you just repair some shit. You'll be fine. All right.
Or you have to ask yourself, is it worth more to, throw away this, $200, piece of armor for this, $5 pistol?
Right.
True.
Or do I just leave the pistol on the ground?
Sometimes you don't grab everything. It's true.
Yes. Right on. All right, Jess, did you have any other observations?
No,
Alrighty.
those are all my notes on
Let's.
John's
Cool. Thank you so much, John. Let's check in with Rando.
The Diaries of Myra Tenpenny, Volume 3. I had the weirdest dream last night. I guess I was in a bunker with Veronica, with all of her Brotherhood of Steel people. And imagine this, I was doing fetch quests for them in my dreams. This place is breaking me. But we agreed to help Elder Macklemore, or whatever his name was. So we're going to leave. And this robot pops around the corner, yelling, "Howdy, partner!" Scared me half to death in my dream. But we have a conversation with him. He takes off through the door. And when I go to take off through the door, everything goes black. And I wake up back in my room, in the Atomic Wrangler. I'm guessing the robot is my subconscious depiction of the robot that dug me up. I don't know. But I'm going to go talk to one of the ladies around here and see if they have a dress that I can borrow if I'm going to go track down Benny. and meet Mr. House and enter the strip. I'm going to try to look nice. Entry number 2. I, Veronica, am commandeering this diary by the powers vested in me by the Brotherhood of Still. Myra's going to kill me. Anywho, currently sitting in the presidential suite at the Lucky 38. With Edie, Myra's gone down to talk to Mr. House. But let me tell you how we got here. After leaving Freeside, which Myra lovingly described as a shithole, and getting her passport from Mick and Ralph, she picked up what she's calling a dress from one of the ladies at the Atomic Wrangler. That's not what we call it around here. Myra has
like naughty
kind of
nightwear.
lost her mind a little bit. After she went into the Lucky 38 and talked to Mr. House, she came out stone-faced and serious and said, we're going to talk to Benny. And from what I've known from her so far, she's a talker. She'll try to talk her way out of any situation. So I wasn't worried about it. So we headed over to the tops. She confronted Benny, and she was not lying about talking. Listen, I grew up in a bunker underground, filled with guys in power armor, and the things she said made me blush. What in the good goddamn indeed? After what I would call a mature conversation, next thing I know, we're walking with Benny up to his room. I don't know where that was going, and I'm not sure I wanted to find out. But once we get into the room, before Benny even gets a chance to say a word, Myra pulls a silenced .22 pistol out of God knows where and starts unloading the clip in Benny's face. I don't even think she was trying to kill him. I think she was trying to send a message. I couldn't watch anymore. I finally ran over and just ended it all in case he got a lucky shot off. After a minute of Myra standing there, covered in blood, not saying anything, she squatted down and proceeded to take everything off of Benny's body and then everything out of his room. I know I probably should have been concerned, but all I was thinking is, she's going to make me carry this stuff, isn't she? But after her looting was complete, she put on Benny's suit and walked straight out of the tops. Like, what a boss move. And that gets us back here. She's down there talking to Mr. House, like I said. She should be back anytime. We'll see how much trouble I get into for this. Entry number 3. Thank you, Veronica, for that lovely recap. I'm going to have to be sure to keep my diary where you can't find it in the future. Your contributions are appreciated and tolerated. So this Mr. House has offered me a job to take this platinum ship and upgrade his robots for better security around the strip. I'm going to be honest, it's not bad here. I have a nice room, plenty of opportunities for work, and I can make a lot of caps. Could be able to live a comfortable life. And isn't that really what it's all about? I want to act like I have morals. I do have morals. But out here, morals get you shot in the head. I'm taking this job. I'm going to adapt. I'm going to secure New Vegas. And hopefully bring the rest of my family here. And Mr. House said monetary gains would be very high. So my secondary goal is to get Dinky moved to the strip. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Time for business. Gotta heal up, load out, and head for the fort. Robot Army Master status, here I come.
I want a casino inside Dinky the dinosaur on the strip. Come on.
Right? Right? First, put him on the strip. Second, make sure he's facing the right direction. Third, casino and profit.
Rotate, correct direction. Dinosaur? Come on, there's so many cheesy themed casinos. Has there been a dinosaur one? I don't know. I've never been to like Vegas or Atlantic City. I've been to Atlantic City when I was a little kid, but has there ever been like a prehistoric like Flintstones fucking casino? Come on.
No, there's no real dinosaur themed casinos that I can think of. I mean, I've spent a decent amount of time in Vegas.
You
and
bet with stone tablets? Come on.
Well, and at the same rest stop where the dino is in California,
Yeah.
they also have a significantly larger Brontosaurus.
Yes. Yes.
And so that would be where you'd want to have your casino,
Inside
because
the
that
belly,
body
right.
is huge, and you'd really be able to set up in there.
That'd be perfect.
I have a Hard Rock Cafe, a New Vegas shirt. I need a Bedrock Cafe, New Vegas shirt now.
That'd be so
Beautiful. Rando,
it's a
jumping
living.
in a lot of pictures again, along with his feedback this time. And it's awesome. Hearing this from Veronica's perspective for a lot of it was a nice flip from we've been getting Myra's story in Myra's diary. This time it's Veronica entering the diary.
He told the reverse perspective this time, right?
I thought that was fantastic. And so we got pictures of Myra wandering around in the naughty nightwear, the dress.
Yeah.
It's like she commented like what a badass move it is to, put on Benny's suit and wear his clothing and use the weapons and stuff. Like, I think it's weird. I think it's very strange to go kill him and then wear his checkered
sometimes you dress
suit.
in the skin of your enemies, whether that's
like
a fox hat or a checkered suit.
You go play trombone in a ska band, Benny. What the fuck are you doing?
Wait, you don't think Benny's outfit is hot? I like a good checkered suit.
Oh my God. I've been wearing it, like running around a little bit here and there, just because I'm always changing my outfit and stuff. And it's silly. It's super silly. Do people make comments on it? Do people, based on what you're wearing? Well, I know that it matters what you're wearing faction-wise because they'll shoot your ass if you're wearing the wrong outfit. But, like, if you're wearing Benny's outfit, will people be like, hey, someone else was wearing that yesterday? Or, like, if they, notice it?
Could try wearing it and talking to Swank.
Yeah, I don't know if he mentions it or not. I don't remember if anyone does.
Yeah, I can't remember anybody ever saying anything.
He'd be like, hey, I recognize that suit. Wait a second. All right. Really good. Thank you so much, Rando.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot of that. Starting off the whole fetch quest and dreams. By the way, who among us, IRL, have not had dreams based on the games we're playing too much of?
I used to close my eyes and see Tetris and that sort of shit all the time.
Yeah, like sometimes, I will dream. Not to get into, talking about your dreams can be weird and boring, but I will just say real quick, I had one earlier this week where I was on this weird dungeon delving quest over time with a companion named Redman who looked kind of like Yukon Cornelius. We're going deeper. And we were protecting, our mission was to dive deeper, save people, but we were protecting these creatures, basically snaxolotls. Axolotls, not snaxolotls, but there were three of them. There were three varieties. There was the nice one, the naughty one, and the cute one. They're all cute, of course, but you know what I mean. And literally, I woke up because every night you slept and there was a chance of being attacked. And I woke up on my screen, AKA my dream, there was minus Red Man is dead. I lost my companion overnight during a random event. And I'm like, no. And that woke me up.
He ate a poison snaxolotl.
I might have taken one from the enemy. But yeah, I think playing all those choice and consequence games in a loop got that one going. But Elder Macklemore, he does send you on a lot of different quests. Yep. Yeah. And I like Veronica's comment too about, the full looting, looting the body, looting the suit, looting everything, looting the room. And all I'm thinking is I got to carry that stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Stop it. What are you doing?
She really is the Lydia in this playthrough.
Yep. All right. Let's check in with Sassy Lady Part 1. Thanks, Dawn.
Hello, Fallout feed. This is Sassy Lady, or Dawn, bringing you my Fallout New Vegas playthrough feedback for Corva May. I really like her name. Corva May was raised in a secluded desert community and learned to scavenge from old world technology to survive. That fits in with my tendency to pick up literally everything in the wasteland and try and sell it so I can have all the caps. That's just who I am in pretty much every game. I'm always over encumbered, so this fits my playstyle perfectly. Her role-playing quip is that she always attempts to hack or repair any broken terminal or robot that they discover. I have hacked several terminals in the game so far, but I have only really hacked one robot, and that's Eddie, and he is now my guardian. Corva May has the strength of 5, perception of 6, endurance of 6, charisma of 3, intelligence of 8, agility of 7, and luck of 5. Her tag skills are science, repair, and energy weapons, and her traits are skilled and 4 eyes. The starter weapon was the recharged laser pistol, which I've yet to find. And I have purchased a laser weapon from the vendor there in Good Springs so that I have one that's similar to what I'm supposed to be running with. And it's very different from my usual playstyle. I never use energy weapons, so it's interesting to be doing this. Typically, I'm just a ballistics girl, snipe them and leave them. Previously, when I tried to play Fallout New Vegas, I somehow managed to get Sunny Smiles killed while we were practicing on geckos. Apparently, I wasn't good enough to keep her alive, to kill the geckos. Anyway, this time I did much better. I kept her and the townsperson alive. I was very proud of myself for not making a dog an orphan. My player home is currently with Easy Pete. My headcanon says that Easy Pete had an extra bed in his place and offered me to stay with him until I got myself back on my feet or remembered where I belonged, whichever. I made my way to Prim so that I could catch the man who shot me in the head and the gang that he was running with. Once I got to Prim, I asked around if anybody had seen them. They had, but they had troubles of their own right now. They were trying to fight off powder gangers, and their sheriff had been killed, and their deputy had been kidnapped. So, out of the goodness of my heart, I went to rescue their deputy, who I was convinced would not make a good replacement sheriff. So I went on a quest to help this town find a new sheriff. I probably should have just let the robot do it, but of course I'm a glutton for punishment. So I head off to the prison, and I find a sheriff there from another town who was willing to take over this town as long as people kind of left him to his own devices. I was okay with that. So I brought him back to Prim. However, I had also gone to the NCR camp and asked for reinforcements for the NCR troopers hanging outside of Prim, and they agreed to send the additional forces. And once the NCR learned that, they decided to take the town of Prim over themselves. While I was in Prim, I learned from the sniper Ghost that she was concerned about a town called Nipton that was off in the distance because she kept seeing smoke from there, and it just didn't seem normal because she hadn't seen anybody come out of that town in a while. So I headed over to take a look, and sure enough, the town had been overrun by Legion. They were burning bodies and hanging people, and it was just a sight. The Legion and I had very little to say to each other, but they did want me to go out and spread the good word that Caesar's Legion was expanding. I left Nipton and headed to Novak. Novak was a really cool little area that had a big dinosaur in it, which I really enjoyed, and I liked all the little dinosaur toys. I stole all of them. I met the front desk lady, and she directed me to talk to some people. I went into the dinosaur. I met Manny. Manny had seen the people I was looking for, but he wanted me to do him a favor first, and that was to clear out the ghouls that were in the Repcon factory down the road. Once I got into the Repcon factory, I met some crazy ghouls who thought they could go to space in the rockets at the factory. So I helped them out because that's the kind of person I am. I got them going. I even used my repair skill to make sure that they had the best chances of reaching their destination by altering the trajectory of their path. Once I told Manny what I had done, he told me that the party I was seeking had headed off to Boulder City. So I was getting ready to hit the road again, but was talking to Boone first. And Boone was telling me about how his wife had been kidnapped. Incidentally, I had been kind of going through some things in some people's rooms, including the office, and happened to find a bill of sale that showed that the hotel owner, manager, had sold Boone's wife to the Legion. So when Boone found out that I had evidence, he asked me to bring that person to the front of the dinosaur, and I did, and that's all she wrote. Boone repaid me by accompanying me to Boulder City. it felt good to have him and Eddie with me because for some reason, even though I did use mods to stabilize the game, I'm having an issue with being able to draw my weapon at certain times. And it's like my buttons just ignore my commands and then they'll sometimes catch up. It's really odd. I'm hoping it's
That's
just
rough.
the fact that I need to get a new controller and nothing else serious. But that means I am pretty vulnerable if I get attacked and I can't draw my weapon. Luckily, I've got Boone and Eddie with me, and so far, so good. I haven't died yet because of this glitch, and they take care of me. We all made it to Boulder City, only to find that there was a standoff between the NCR and the Great Khans, led by a man named Jessup, who I was allowed to speak to after offering my negotiating skills to Lieutenant Monroe to try and solve this issue peaceably, which I did, and everything kind of settled down. But I found out that Benny stabbed Jessup in the back, and he is off to Vegas. And Jessup was none too pleased with him because he was supposed to get paid for his part of the job, and apparently Benny reneged. So we're off to see the wizard Mr. House, and find Benny and bring him to justice for shooting me in the head and breaking my glasses and forcing me to steal glasses from some poor soul in Good Springs because I can't see without them. I want to thank you for listening, and I will come back in a couple weeks with another update as to our adventures in New Vegas. Good night.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I think Doc gave you permission to steal those glasses, so it's okay.
He's a generous man for sure.
He is. He's very nice. Lets you take all the shit you need. I definitely had that controller thing, but in different. It wasn't my controller. Is she saying like her buttons don't respond and
Holstering,
they
unholstering,
delay,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden, blah blah blah, it does all the things that you did like 5 seconds ago. Like it does catch up. If I was in that situation, I don't think I'd ever put my weapon in the holster. I would just always have it out, so I never had to pull it out.
I feel like with your wasteland negotiating tactics, that's kind of how you're playing anyway. But some of us like to holster our weapons to approach people, a little more peaceably.
Oh, does dialogue change? Does anyone say, "Oh, why don't you put that away" or something like that? Does anyone acknowledge it?
I don't think it does in New Vegas. In some games, it does.
Yeah,
and there may be an encounter or two, but I don't actually know of any. Also, we didn't say ahead. But as y'all could tell, because Dawn had actually sent this feedback in for a previous week, but it didn't come through kind of in between. So we were going to play it. So we have that, and we actually have her feedback to catch up currently that we'll probably play next week, just kind of mix it in to get her up to current. But it was good to hear about her character and everything she's done up through Boulder City.
Yeah, certainly. She mentioned the RepCon thing. Did we ever see rocket wreckage or do they send a radio broadcast back or do anything? Do we ever get any sort of like report on what happens after they launch?
No, they're in the great beyond.
They're gone forever.
Meeting with
beyond.
the creator.
Successful. They made it to the
Absolutely.
center of the sun or whatever they're
as
going.
long as you didn't put sugar bombs in their gas tanks, they're
Right.
golden.
All right. Good job, guys.
Yeah. As long as you treat them right.
I was fully expecting to see a crashed rocket there somewhere in the wasteland.
So she mentioned one thing, and there were people in chat kind of surprised too, like mentioning, losing Sunny Smiles previously.
She blew up Sunny Sands. It was her.
Which she didn't this time, which she said she didn't this time. But that, a lot of the NPCs in New Vegas, when you get to the Ghost City gunfight and all that, like if they're part of an upcoming quest, like one that you need, you're not going to kill all of them, but some of them they're all vulnerable, right? I mean, can you lose everybody in Ghost City gunfight or just most? Do you remember, Ray?
I was surprised she
I
could
don't
be
think-
killed.
I mean, the only one you wouldn't would be Chat because he's hiding in his store.
Right. But yeah, I think they're all potentials. I mean, the way they're geared up, you're not too likely to leave townsfolk unless you're attacking them. But part of the quest could be you have the option to turn on them and kill them. So, if you want to protect them, you actually got to work to protect them. And if you want to kill them, you actually got to kill them. So
Yeah.
all makes sense. But yeah, and then she went for Sheriff Myers and Prim. And also we got into the Boone quest a bit. That was good to hear about that. And yeah, Boone and Edie are good protection. If you can't pull out your gun, don't worry. Edie and Boone will detect them and start shooting before you even have a chance. So
Yeah.
Edie sees things 10 miles further off than I can see. So
yeah, and Boone's like that too. They both have really good perception and pick stuff up. And I mean, Edie, of course, gives you the perk where you get better perception too, just by working with them.
Yeah. So your compass gets littered with red dots that you can't see.
It's useless
Yes.
at that point. You know what I mean? Like, if the data doesn't mean anything, then they might as well not be there. Yeah. All right, let's check in with our good buddy Suliore.
Hey, all you cool cats and dolls. This is Ace Rockwell back with another report with my adventures around the Mojave Wasteland. Whew, boy. Done a lot of stuff since the last time I checked in. So let's get to it. Now, I said at the end of my last report that I wanted to go have a chat with Benny, and that's just what I did. I went straight to the Tops Casino. After talking to Swank, I gave him some evidence that let him know that Benny needs to be knocked down a peg or 5, and he was gracious enough to give me my weapons back. Told me to go look around in his room, see if I could find anything else, so I went up there and found this Securitron that has this big-ass smile on his face. Goes by Yes Man. Told me all about Benny's plan to take out House. As much as I like the idea and can see what Benny's trying to do, I don't think he's the person to do it. Just the fact that I'm still alive shows me that he's not capable of running anything properly. Went back down, told Swank what I'd found, and decided to finally deal with Benny. Shot to the head with my YCS-186 was more than enough to put him down, along with all his bodyguards. No one else seemed to care either. Funny. Went back up and talked to Yes Man and told me all about how he can be installed into Mr. House's systems, so unfortunately we gotta take House out as well. Honestly, he's been creeping me out anyway, so no skin off my ass. Went over to the Lucky 38, took out a few Securitrons on the way, and popped Mr. House out of his pod and told him, it's nothing personal, just business. Man's been alive for well over 200 years. Time for a change in management. Told Yes Man that the coast is clear, and somehow he installed himself into the big screen that House used to reside in. I will say, though, that Yes Man's smiling face does sit better with me than House's smug mug. Yes Man did tell me that there was a way to upgrade the Securitron, so he took me down and told me that that was actually what the Platinum chip was for. So he did that, and the Securitrons are a little tougher now. Upgraded their guns from what they had to rocket launchers and things like that. Apparently what they were using before was their secondary weapons. So now he wants me to go check in with all these other factions to see if they are cause for concern. Or maybe they could possibly work alongside us. Veronica had told me that she wanted to go back and talk with her family at the Brotherhood of Steel, so I guess now's as good a time as any. Gotta talk to them anyway. Bunker's on lockdown, and for whatever reason, McNamara won't listen to reason when it comes to that. Veronica tried talking to him, but didn't work. She decided to leave the Brotherhood. I did stay and did some tasks for them and actually got trained in using power armor, so now I've got a nice set of Tesla power armor that I'm running around in. Took Veronica to visit the followers of Apocalypse because she thought that might be a better fit, and they did some upgrades to Eddie. Unfortunately, some other asshole members of the Brotherhood of Steel saw what she was doing and took out the followers of Apocalypse at that tower. Feel terrible about that. Went and met up with the Great Khans, but they didn't seem too interested in me, so that's fine. After that, went up and talked to the Boomers, and after going through their obstacle course, trying not to get blown to hell, I actually made friends with them. Did some tasks with them, including lifting up this airship out of the lake, and they agreed to help me should the time for the Battle of Hoover Dam ever take place. This whole time, though, I've been getting attacked relentlessly by the Legion. They had the audacity to ask me to swear loyalty to them after taking out Benny, and I told them where to shove it. So, after countless attacks by them, I decided enough was enough. I stormed their fort after finding a boat at Cottonwood Cove and went and took out their boss. Yeah, Caesar is no more. He can rot in hell as far as I'm concerned. Hopefully that'll be the last I ever have to deal with them, but something tells me that his legate's not going to be too happy. Anyway, there's more that I can get into, but for now, why don't I turn this over to Suliore? Wow, you sure did skim on the details. Anyway, yeah, I kind of had to if I was going to keep this short because there was a ton. I actually forgot to mention just how I had to revisit some of these vaults that I did, including Vault 22. But then I also went and cleared out Vault 3 with the Fiends. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was kind of a running joke how a lot of my streams lately have me just been running around completely lost in vaults. And I completely forgot to mention how I went through Helios 1. So yeah, that was fun. I gave the power to the entire region. As far as the Brotherhood of Steel stuff, I sided with Elder McNamara and not Paladin Hardin. I have done that in the past and completely destroyed the Brotherhood of Steel. That's a huge fight. Didn't feel like doing that. And then I don't know if I'd ever actually sided with the Elder before. And it was actually cool, actually helping him realize the error of his ways. I did feel awful, though, about what happened to that branch of the Followers of Apocalypse after convincing Veronica to leave, which I don't think I'd ever done before either. But yeah, it was also fun going up and doing the Boomer stuff again. I think I've jumped ahead with the schedule as far as that sort of thing goes. But you know what? I'll find something to fill those feedbacks with. Don't worry. So, also, almost forgot that I also went up and talked to Marcus and the Super Mutants and Nightkin up at Jacobstown. So, yeah. Anyway, until next time, I will see everybody in the Wasteland.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suliore. Do you have any thoughts there, Jess or Ray?
Yeah, well, he mentioned, of course, that you can introduce Veronica to the followers at the Old Mormon Fort, which is a thing. She'll talk to Julie Farkas and has questions if you're with Veronica, and she's open to it when you visit and stuff. So, and that the followers may be a better path for her after leaving the Brotherhood, which I thought it was cool that he went, deeper into that. And it's funny, he was joking about sparing the details, but I feel like we got a lot of details there, Ace. I mean, I know we didn't deep dive on some of them, but you did quite a lot. So let's see what we had there. Yeah, chat with Benny. Popped House out of the pod. I like the way he dealt with that. Just kind of smooth, matter of fact. And getting rid of his smug mug. Honestly, House does have the smuggest mug up on that screen. He's not wrong.
Oh, I thought you were going to say in the pod. I was like, oh, he's kind of gross in the pod.
Oh, yeah, no. Pod House is
a little less so. Slightly less so.
A little worse for wear. Not quite like us in a cryopod. It's definitely not the same. But it's funny because, I'm doing Yes Man, you're doing Yes Man. A lot of us are going to be doing Yes Man, although we've heard from a couple House people in a row, too. But I haven't had Yes Man up on the big screen. I've always had Mr. House, so that's going to be fun to do.
Yeah, I forgot about that, right. His face pops up there.
Couple people mentioned, obviously doing the BOS. Rando's done all their stuff. Suliore has done all their stuff now. You did all their stuff, of course. And so y'all unlocking the ability to wear power armor, which is definitely a big benefit.
I think it's interesting how many, Ray was mentioning how many different folds there are in the game, but, just the fact that, you have the McNamara replacement, do you, don't you, plus woven into that is the Veronica, will she stay, won't she stay, does she serve better society with the followers or with the Brotherhood, you know what I mean? And then there's that whole moral argument of, well, the followers care for the the greater society where they will provide their tech. They seem to be similar to the Brotherhood, except for they're not proprietary with their technology. They want to provide for everyone. So then you can also, like he did, weave in the Helios stuff into that and provide power to the whole wasteland instead of,
Right.
you know what I mean? So there's all sorts of great ways to weave all that in together. That's so many little different like threads to pull on there. That's great how you can make so many different decisions there.
One thing
Yeah,
people
and-
really like is how interconnected it is.
Yeah, and they're sprinkled all over the place. So it's not like you're just sitting in one spot and, okay, here's your choices. No, okay, then now here's your choices. You might do something in one place. You go to someplace else and talk to somebody, and now, they give you, options even beyond what you had before, to mess with the quest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in chat, Rando mentions, I found the BOS storyline mostly sad. And Suliore says, yeah, hiding in a bunker, afraid of the outside world. We catch the Hidden Valley chapter, and they're definitely at like the nascent point in their life cycle. This is when the Brotherhood has been scattered, beaten down. And this chapter in particular has had defeat after defeat. And their elder Elijah, who had, been, giving them the fire, he's gone. He disappeared, a couple years ago. And so it really is a story of a group past their peak at this point. Obviously their fortunes change in other games and other areas, but here it is kind of a sad story at times, for sure.
Absolutely.
Also, the Edie upgrades. We talked about that a little bit, and more of us will get there as we travel with Eddie or Edie a bit longer. But it sounds like Suliore did the route with the followers for the upgrade, because you can upgrade from followers, you can get an upgrade from other places. And the fact that because Veronica had decided to leave the Brotherhood, that some stuff went wrong there too, and they attacked some of the followers.
I think I did it kind of backward of him. I think I used the
Brotherhood
I don't remember.
upgrades for Edie. Did you do those?
I can't recall.
Maybe you haven't finished them yet, because there's a couple of
Maybe.
triggers. You probably got both of those, but then you have to then have a conversation 3 or 4 days later.
Yeah. And then, depending on which military checkpoints you go to, like different sparks off different conversations and quests for him. All right. Suliore, thank you, mister. Coming up next, let's see, who do we have? Looks like Vanessa on the list. What's up, Vanessa? Oh, she said we can call her V now.
Hey everyone, it's Vanessa with my latest feedback for New Vegas, which I haven't had a lot of time to prepare, so I'm winging it a little bit, so hopefully it won't be completely incomprehensible. But so Sterling Price, my character, started off heading over to Vault 22. So he picked up the quest from Hilden over at McCarran, and also the optional side quest from the assistant to find out what had happened to all the mercenaries and scientists and whatnot that Hilden had been sending to the Vault. So also nipped over to the Thorn and picked up the quest there to get mantis eggs. So once we got to Vault 22, repair is one of my tag skills, so I was able to fix the elevator in the vault, which made it a little bit easier to get around, but not that much. It's still kind of confusing, the layout on the lower floor where you've kind of got part vault and part caves. Went through fairly slowly and a little bit cautiously, checking for the spore people, so normally you could see like an arm or a leg sticking out for the flower beds, so it wasn't too bad to keep those at bay. When we got down into the cave at the bottom, we found Keeley, one of the scientists that Hilden had sent over there, and agreed to help her out. So we did have a little bit of trouble with this bit, throwing grenades at the vents to set fire to, cause a fire to deal with the spore people. Took several goes to find a spot there where we didn't get burnt to a crisp ourselves, which ended up being in the room nearest to the vents, weirdly, but anyway, got through it in the end. It was a little bit frustrating. Picked up the mantis eggs as well for the Thorn. So went and turned those quests in. We destroyed the data at the end, as Keeley wanted us to do. So went back to Angela Williams at McCarran to turn that quest in, and then went up to the Thorn. And then, excuse me, Red Lucy was giving us the next lot of eggs she wanted us to get. And Sterling just thought, do you know what? No. Enough. Let those poor wasteland creatures live. What do they do to anyone? Just try and kill anyone that comes within a country mile of them, but other than that, they're generally harmless. So live and let live for the wasteland creatures, but not so much for the people in the Thorn, who therefore met a kind of sad end. The drawback to that is that we weren't able to get the dinner bell shotgun. It's not on Lucy's corpse and it's not in her quarters. And there's the minor drawback that Sterling's attempts to save all those creatures at the Thorn ends up with them still locked in cages and no one to feed them, but maybe there's animal welfare in Westside, who knows. Other than that, so I've been travelling with Eddie for quite a while, so got the next stage in his quest to go and find the Brotherhood to upgrade him. So that took us to Repcon HQ. It's a little bit odd there with the security robots, so they kept warning me not to go in places and then not seeming to mind when I did, so I had to promise them I wouldn't go to the top floor. Then got caught on the top floor, but luckily I had high enough luck to pass a skill check to guess a password. And then as soon as you find the dead Brotherhood person, you get April from the followers come talk you through via Eddie. So we took him there for the upgrades from them instead. So as I was out without a follower after that, we went up to Black Mountain to get, is it Black Mountain? I think so, to get Raoul as a temporary replacement. So I've not really used him as a companion before. So we took the help of the friendly super mutant at the bottom of that road. Not really sure how helpful he was. He sort of runs off ahead of you. And then when you catch up with him at the top, he says, "Oh, I'll go and deal with the Nightkin." And then you still get attacked by Nightkin. So I'm not sure what happens if you don't take his help, but he didn't seem to be that useful. Again, with high repair, I was able to repair Rhonda, so Tabitha went off happily into the sunset with her, and me and Raoul went on our merry way. So finally it was time to deal with Benny. So we went to the strip via the monorail from McCarran, which caused a couple of NCR in McCarran to go hostile, so they came running through the doors onto the platform after me. So I guess my reputation wasn't high enough. I think I was liked by them, but maybe it wasn't high enough. Didn't seem to be any repercussions, though, at the other end. All the NCR on the strip were peaceful, and I think that probably bypassed the credit check. Entering from pre-side, I'm not sure. So we went off to, I can't remember what we did. We took to House first, I think, who tells us a bit more about Benny. Then went off to chat with the unfortunately named Swank in the tops. So I didn't have enough pieces of evidence to implicate Benny directly, but I was able to pass some speech checks with Swank to get my weapons back and have him send Benny up to his suite without his security guards. So not too much chit-chat with Benny. We asked for the chip, he said no, then opened fire. So we obviously opened fire back, and poor Benny was sprawled across the counter in his room. After that, went through the back to talk to Yes Man, who explained that, he was obliged to do whatever we wanted. Suggested we go and deal with House and then install Yes Man into the computers over there. And I did have a little bit of trouble with this section, so we went back to the Lucky 38. And my map marker kept telling me to go up to the top floor of the hotel, and whenever I got there, it then said go back down again. So I eventually found a terminal in the room with where you talk to House via the monitor, which I initially sort of offered to open a door, but kind of said no unauthorised access, and with Securitrons everywhere. I didn't use it initially, found the locked door behind the Securitrons, which needed a key, so I went all through the hotel again looking for the key and couldn't find it, so had to use the terminal in the end, which caused 4 or 5 Securitrons to go hostile. So Sterling took House out of the cryopod and killed him, which maybe he's not a terrible guy, Sterling. Maybe a little bit out of character to just gun him down like that, but it took a surprising number of shots to kill him, considering the state he's in. But maybe I was just aiming badly.
Quit shooting him in the leg.
On the way back out, no more hostile Securitrons, so that was a bit of a surprise, but I was just able to walk back out again, go back to Yes Man and report my success, who just went through then a list of minor factions whose fate we needed to decide, so I didn't make any decisions on them at that point. And then at some point along the way I got approached by the messengers from the NCR and Legion with the sort of warning that it's your last chance to work with them if you want to. But obviously Yes Man's my sort of in-game faction, so we've just ignored the NCR and Legion. People in Freeside seem to be pretty glad to hear of House's demise, unsurprisingly, so just went round Freeside picking up a few odd bits of work, some deck collection for the Atomic Wrangler, and that's about it. So hope everyone has a great new year, and see you in the Wasteland. Bye.
I mean, Freeside, those people were ousted, by Mr. House, because they're not part of the Strip. The Strip's those like the White Glove, who are the three?
Yeah, the main families there and everybody.
Three families?
Everybody
Are there
past the
three
gate.
or five? There's three, right?
Technically 3. Yep.
Okay. All that
At this
shit.
point.
All right. So much stuff, V. What is the thorn in this game?
So-
And does the thorn armor in 76 have anything to do? No? Is there any connection there? Okay.
Very, very different. But,
Okay.
I was going to say one thing I like about Vanessa's feedback here, and of course from Jeff earlier and some of the others, is they're mentioning West Side, which people think about New Vegas. They think about the Strip and they think about Freeside a lot. We talk about Freeside more just because the
Right.
Atomic Wranglers there. You got to go through Freeside. You got the Kings there. There are some really memorable places there. But West Side is really a whole town and neighborhood of its own. There are a number of quests there you can do. Number of locations. We're talking before about the apartments and the bordello, but there's a cooperative. There's a store. You got mean son of a bitch there and Klamath Bob, helping to defend the area. You've got the Thorn down south. So the Thorn, that's a great location. Good place to go for dinner.
Uh-oh. What? I don't get it.
No, I was just tee it up, Ray, for a laugh there. But no, it's that's the Fight Club. That's the Animal Fight Club.
Oh, that's sad. I don't like that. Dinner Bell Shotgun. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the Dinner Bell shotgun you can get if you go through the full Thorn.
She mentioned
quest
Lucy's
line.
corpse. Spoiler, is Lucy dead in the show? We find Lucy's corpse in the game. This is all
Red
connected,
Lucy
right?
and Lucy Goosey, very different.
Oh, different Lucy. I see. All right. Black Mountain, Raoul, and Tabitha. I ran into Tabitha and I forgot about Tabitha, and then I was like, "Holy shit! Look at Tabitha!"
Right, Tabitha and Rhonda. That was cool that she had the repair skill to handle it that way, and have Tabitha and Rhonda go off, with a little. I mean, I'm not sure about a happy ending, but hey, for a while.
Tabitha's got the best. I want to say wig. I doubt that's real hair. That's probably. I don't want to insult, but probably a wig. Probably. And I think Swank is appropriately named, if anyone in the game. V. So.
Yeah.
You say
agreed.
inappropriately named? Yeah. No. Appropriately named.
And the whole V thing is not, Ray was joking in chat, it was a cyberpunk reference. But we did last week, or 2 weeks ago, we were talking about nicknames for Vanessa. And she said, yeah, go with V.
Yeah. Let's not go with Nessie. I think was the message.
yeah, not the best. But she hit a lot of the, the bigger side quests or areas to explore, like mentioning RepCon headquarters. I mean, I know Ray went through all that the other day. And the Q35 matter modulator and stuff that you can get there, right? But it's a cool location. I like the way it works. You need to get the successive security badges or key cards to be on different levels, but you can pass a speech check at least once. Like, she was saying, talk yourself through it.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing.
Ooh, can I science my way through it? 'Cause I got science for days.
Well, yeah, there's quite a few terminals. Yeah,
Yeah.
you probably can go through and
Because I've actually discovered that
upgrade
location
your-
the other day. What was I there for? I think I have to do something. Brotherhood probably sent me there to fetch parts for something.
And Mr. House is awful durable. I mean, if he's lived that long,
Yeah.
in his pod, he's half mummified already. So
I was going to say, he looks more like a mummified corpse than anything. Like, more shot. Yes, like too many shots. Well, quit shooting him in the leg. Go ahead, go for the headshot. That might put him down. All right. Thank you so much for your feedback, Vanessa. Up next, we've got Nicky. Oh, and Calm Horizons, I guess, too.
Hello, Follow Feed News. This is Nicky reporting live from the Tops Casino, where the head of the chairman, Benny, has just been murdered on the game floor. With me is Stella Wren, a bystander in the casino when Benny was killed. Stella, can you tell me what happened?
Oh, absolutely. I saw the whole thing while I was playing blackjack. Benny was standing over there in the corner of the room, and his 4 goons were with him. Mr. Big Shot was perched up there like lord of his castle, like he was untouchable. Anyway, so then this maniac with a shotgun runs up and just starts blasting them. It was crazy. I ducked behind the table for cover, and when it was all over, Benny and his bodyguards were dead, and the shotgun guy was gone.
Did you get a look at the killer? Anything to identify them?
Oh, yeah, they had a shotgun, right? And they were dressed like a Roman soldier. Yeah, it must have been one of Caesar's legion.
See, how do you think they got into the casino with a shotgun?
What do you mean? Swank, the number 2 man, the chairman. I know for a fact that he'll vouch for people. Just say the right words, and anybody can walk in here with a gun. In fact, Swank is now the number 1 man of the chairman. With Benny gone, I bet he worked with the Legion to kill Benny and take his job.
Interesting. So Swank and Caesar worked together to kill Benny. I wonder why the Securitrons didn't stop the gunman.
Well, I heard Benny stole something important from Mr. House, a platinum chip. And Mr. House wanted it back. He must have let the guy go.
So you're saying Mr. House and Caesar teamed up with Swank to kill Benny?
Why not? You know how much of a scumbag Benny was.
Wait, how did you find out about House and the platinum chip? Are you the woman who came out as the Lucky 38?
Oh, yeah, that was me. House, he told me to get the platinum chip from Benny.
Seems awfully convenient that Benny ended up getting killed by some random gunman right before he needed to confront him.
Look, I know where you're going with this, but a shotgun is not my MO. I have always relied on my fists to get things done. They have never steered me wrong.
Speaking of that, I noticed the rather large gauntlet on your arm. Is that a weapon? What is that?
Oh, this? It's my Pip-Boy.
No, the thing on your other arm.
Oh, this. This is, my Xbox controller.
What? What's an Xbox? That thing looks like it has a barrel on it.
Right, that's the transmitter.
I think I know what that is. Looks like a ballistic fist, a shotgun attached to your gauntlet. I think you killed Benny to get the chip from Mr. House.
No. I killed Benny because he shot me in the face.
Benny shot you in the face? How are you still alive?
I got better.
If you did kill Benny, you're gonna have trouble with Mr. House's Securitrons.
Oh, I don't think anyone needs to worry about Mr. House anymore.
What? Why?
Let's just say the Tops wasn't the only casino I brought my ballistic fist into.
You're crazy! How is the city going to survive without Mr. House keeping the peace? Oh, the humanity!
Are we gonna have a problem?
You have to be stopped, and if the Securitrons won't do it, then I will.
Here we go again. I gotta stop killing people. Oh, man. Now I'm vilified with the reporters, too?
The reporter faction.
Well, back to you, Fallout feed.
This just said reporter faction.
Always believed in freedom of the press. I cannot believe it. Oh, the humanity.
Perfect. Nicky deserves an Oscar for that performance.
Well acted, both of you. I loved the evolution of that story too, because from innocent bystander who we knew was kind of making up a story to get around. Unfortunately, I don't think all your hard work about the story about the Legion and the shotgun is going to get very far if you kill the reporter you're telling it to.
Yeah, the story dies there. Very good. Perfect, guys. Awesome. Good job.
But I really like bringing in that perspective, and I mean that is exactly what it would be like for somebody on the strip and hearing it, and then the way the conspiracy story got a little out of control. But for the average casino goer, they're probably all wondering what happened. And these rumors, they spread just like that. I love it.
Yeah, like their the background noise, like the casino. You could hear the sort of background noise of people milling around a casino talking to police and stuff. Good feedback, guys. Thank you so much. All right, coming up next, we got Will, and he, of course, has included some vocabulary. We will look for a couple of words in there, see if you can spot what the words are. There are 2 of them this week, and we'll report back after we hear from Will.
The sun beats down on the Mojave late in the afternoon. Humans and animals alike seek shade where they can. But at Cal's house, the kids don't seem to notice the heat at all as they play with Rex in the field out back, until something goes wrong.
Grandma! Rex hurt himself.
Cal steps outside and sees the problem.
We were just playing. Rex was chasing us and his leg fell off. We weren't doing anything wrong, I promise.
Cal kneels, lifting Rex's detached cybernetic leg.
Oh, he's okay. It happens sometimes.
She heads back towards the house, the kids and a three-legged Rex following behind. Inside, Cal digs through a drawer for tools.
Rex is just really old. Why, he was already old when I got him from the king.
Did you kill the king and steal his dog?
No, he wasn't that kind of king. But I was named an honorary king for doing him a favor. And that's when I got Rex.
As she works, Cal picks her story back up from the night before. She was feeling good after resolving the Boulder City showdown without bloodshed. The iron on her hip was deadly, but she was learning her words could be just as powerful. As she pressed west towards New Vegas, she crossed paths with Legion patrols, avoiding them when she could. The memory of Nipton still lingered. She wanted peace, not more violence. So when gunfire broke out nearby, Legion soldiers attacking a group of prospectors, she hesitated. It wasn't her fight. Then came the flashes, fragmented and incomplete, a lacuna in her memory, a caravan, fire, screaming, a man with a shotgun like the one she carried now, telling her to hide. Fear and anger boiled over. She pulled the trigger, and the Legion fell. The prospectors lived, and relief followed, but so did unease. It was the first time she'd killed someone, not because she was attacked, but because she couldn't stand by. There would be consequences. Not long after, she passed an NCR ranger station.
Rangers are volunteers. Every man and woman who signs up is willing to die for the NCR.
They were calm, disciplined, focused, doing real work despite the bureaucracy behind them. She admired that. And when another fight erupted, NCR troopers clashing with the Legion, Cal didn't hesitate. She fought alongside them. At Camp Golf, a ranger approached her and handed her a two-way emergency radio.
You call, and we'll come running. The NCR has your back.
She slept there that night. In the morning, she helped train a misfit squad of NCR soldiers.
The squad leader's got some promise, kid named Mags. But as for the rest, I don't see much hope.
But Cal tried anyway, teaching them fundamentals, and when she left, they stood a little taller. Maybe, just maybe, she had saved a few lives, this time without firing a shot. Eventually, Cal reached Freeside, just outside the Vegas Strip. It was tense. Rumors of an NCR takeover fed resentment. Cal ended up at the Atomic Wrangler.
Hungry? Thirsty? Horny? The Atomic Wrangler has you covered.
Cal was none of those. She just needed a bed and work. The owner hired her to collect unpaid debts.
I'd prefer you not kill anyone with a debt. It's a bit difficult to collect on a corpse.
Cal wasn't planning to. When the job was done, she was pointed towards someone who could help her get into the Strip. The King. At his door, Pacer tried to shake her down.
What do we have here? Another petitioner for the king?
Cal talked her way past him and met the man himself, along with a partially cybernetic dog at his side.
Ooh, was that Rex?
Sure was. That was the first time I saw him.
So did you shoot the king and steal Rex?
No, I already told you. I helped him.
The King suspected someone was running a scam and sent Cal in to investigate.
You just happen to be talking to the most successful bodyguard in all of Freeside.
Cal uncovered a protection racket and brought the truth back to the King. But Freeside's problems ran deeper. At the old Mormon fort, Cal met Julie Farkas of the Followers of the Apocalypse, people who fed the hungry, healed the wounded, and rebuilt without asking for anything in return.
All we ask is members and those seeking aid do their best to help those in need when the opportunity arises.
Cal donated what she could and offered help. Julie sent her to Major Kieran of the NCR, and by dropping Julie's name, Cal learned the source of the tension. An NCR envoy sent to negotiate with the Kings had been brutally beaten. Relief efforts collapsed and supplies were cut back, now reserved only for NCR citizens. Cal brought the information back to the King.
Wait a minute. They said what? Seems like we have a big misunderstanding. What the hell?
They were interrupted with word that violence had broken out between the Kings and the NCR troops.
I need you to head out there and try to defuse the situation. Tell him I'm willing to cooperate.
Cal stepped in and convinced Major Kieran the king hadn't known about the envoy and wanted to work with her.
If the king's willing to deal with us, I'll tell my men to stand down.
Once the dust settled, the king made a decision.
From this day forward, you're one of us.
Jacket and all.
But what about Rex?
Oh, right. That was the point, wasn't it? Well, Rex belonged to the king, but something was wrong with his brain. Julie couldn't help, but she knew of a doctor in Jacobstown who might.
That's incredible news. You promised to get Rexy here to that doctor, and I'll lend him to you. What do you say?
And that's when Rex became my responsibility. And good thing he did, because he saved my life that very same day.
Cal finally entered the strip. Victor greeted her again.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to New Vegas.
Victor told her that Mr. House, who ran New Vegas, wanted to meet her at the Lucky 38. Cal didn't like Victor's constant attention or the idea of being summoned. She ignored the invitation. Instead, she went to the tops to face Benny. Her heart skipped when she saw him. That checkered suit. There was no doubt, so she approached.
What in the goddamn?
But Benny offered answers.
You didn't come here for vengeance. You came to get clued in.
Cal swallowed her anger and agreed to talk privately, on one condition: lose the bodyguards. In the presidential suite, Benny explained the platinum chip. It wasn't a poker chip, it was data. Whoever decoded it could control Mr. House's Securitrons and the fate of New Vegas. Benny made an offer: rule Vegas with him and get rich. Cal refused, and Benny left. Moments later, 4 armed men rushed in to kill her. Cal fired once, but before her smuggled gun could find a second target, Rex had already finished the fight. In Benny's suite, Cal found a reprogrammed Securitron.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm a PDQ-88B Securitron, but you can call me Yes Man.
Yes Man explained everything. The platinum chip could unlock Mr. House's defenses, either at the Lucky 38 or at Fortification Hill, deep in Legion territory. Whoever controlled it could step in after the next battle at Hoover Dam and claim New Vegas. Benny's words echoed back to her.
House was on to me from word go? I thought I was being so clever.
She had been a pawn in a larger game. Now, through a strange synchronicity of choice and chance, she was a player. Yes Man offered an alternative: an independent New Vegas, free from both the NCR and the Legion. Cal didn't decide. Not yet. She had seen the NCR's flaws, but she had also seen them protect people. An independent New Vegas had appeal, but not at the cost of the Mojave falling into chaos. And Benny had tried to kill her twice now. She wouldn't forget that. But for now, a more immediate concern: a doctor in Jacobstown, and a dog who had just saved her life.
Woof, woof. That I always love Will's feedback.
Yes, this season is just, like Rando said in chat, it's like an audio drama. I mean, it absolutely is. Framing this whole thing. So we've got a bunch of different framing techniques, character narration, diaries. In this case, kind of Cal, older, talking about her adventures and, sharing it with the grandkids. And this one was framed as a story about Rex. Where did Rex come from? And I really enjoyed that. And by the way, we had mentioned, first episode, how he was doing the voices that weren't from the game. So most of them are from the game, but the ones that aren't, he's actually recording himself and then using a voice changer after. So he's fully acting them himself. And
that
then
little girl
applying
was
a voice.
Will.
Yeah, they were all him. And then he just does the voice changer effect to it. So really well done.
Good job, little Wilhelmina.
But I enjoyed that. Also, the word of the day, we didn't say ahead so you guys could listen for them, but the words of the day were Lacuna. You might have heard him mention a lacuna of something. That's an unfilled space or interview. Although I just think of the metal band Lacuna Coil, as some of you might know. And synchronicity, which I didn't hear him say synchronicity, but of course we know that's
it was very close to the end.
Right near the end? Okay. And that's a simultaneous occurrence of events which appear related but have no discernible connection.
So lacuna was an unfilled space or interval, a gap. I have not heard that word before, lacuna.
Yeah, I mean, it's English, but I have a feeling we took it from another language because
absolutely.
The band Lacuna Coil is Italian, so it might be an Italian origin.
Exactly. Yeah, it's something Latin, definitely. Beautiful, Will. Always love it. Keep them coming, sir. We've got one more batch of feedback before we roll into the
Yeah, let's get into it. And, I don't have much else to say on Wills. Just really enjoyed it. Obviously, Yes Man. And I like the use of the Rad Pack slang in there, too. One of the thing about the guys at the tops, it's not just 50s slang they're using. Like, the 50s stuff goes with the Kings and the Atom Cats and all that. Like, that's their MO. But Benny's group and the tops, the chairman, they actually based their slang on the Rat Pack from
the Swingers, the 60s.
Exactly. And it was a very specific thing that they had going on. And so it's a little different, a little hepper, a little cooler. But I enjoyed that. So next we have Lee coming up. And I've actually got, Lee's not here with us today in the chat, but I have his pictures to share. Well, his feedback, please.
She was granted instructions as well. All right,
Yes.
we'll get into Lee's. So everyone pop up on the Discord there. See a live presentation. We should, get out the overhead projector for this.
Oh, I mean, Rando's doing it too. I love
it's great.
The
I love
words.
the visual assistance with the stories. It's perfect. All right, here we go, Lee.
Laura returned to the Mojave outpost to resupply. Upon entering, an NCR ranger told her that she had done a good thing for the NCR and they wanted to return the favor. She was given an NCR emergency radio so that if she needed help, she could call for it and the NCR rangers would respond. In the bar, she started talking to Cassidy, the owner of a local caravan company. She had been waiting for her caravan to return to the Mojave outpost, but received a message that it had been attacked and destroyed. Since Cass couldn't offer Lori any work, she suggested that she visit the Crimson Caravan Company south of New Vegas. Lori decided to head to New Vegas to both look for work and learn more about Benny. Back at Boulder City, she headed north and west toward New Vegas, following the railroad tracks. When she got to the outskirts of New Vegas, she found several buildings that she intended to investigate later, but her first stop was at the gunrunner's shop to sell stock and get other needed items. Proceeding to the Crimson Caravan, she located the main office and entered. Here she met Alice McLafferty, the main force behind their success in the Mojave. The company itself had been in business for over 130 years and contributed to the NCR's expansion to the east. There was no current need for caravan workers, but Lori was offered a job as a runner to take an invoice to Dr. Hildern inside NCR's Camp McCarran, which she had passed getting here. She soon found her way to Camp McCarran. While looking for the doctor, Lori met Colonel James who was glad to meet her as he'd heard she'd been doing good things for the NCR. He mentioned that General Oliver had headed to the Hoover Dam and he had taken over most of the general's duties at Camp McCarran. He also mentioned Colonel Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope, from whom he hopes to get an idea of how containment of the Legion on the other side of the river had failed. Across the hall, she met Angela Williams, who coordinated getting as much power out of the Hoover Dam as possible. She directed Lori to Dr. Hildern, head of operations for the Office of Science and Industry, OSI, East. He was very interested in finding out the secrets of Vault 22's impressive plant growth and wanted to have Lori investigate it. She declined for the time being, as she needed to deliver the invoice and get back to the Crimson Caravan Company. Upon her return, Alice McGafferty thanked her for being reliable and offered her 3 jobs, including helping to negotiate with Cass to buy out the Cassidy caravans. Lafferty knew Cass wanted to get out of the caravan business. Lori returned to the Mojave outpost and presented the offer to Cass. Cass was adamant about not selling her father's name, but then Lori reminded her that the only thing keeping her from leaving the outpost was the lack of paperwork from the NCR to proceed with rebuilding the caravan, which she couldn't afford now anyway. Cass decided to sell after all. With nothing to do and not wanting to return west with her tail between her legs, Cass agreed to wander the wasteland with Lori on the condition that they check out the place where her caravan was destroyed, to say goodbye to her crew one last time. After a good night's sleep in the bunkhouse, they departed and ran straight into the robot Victor right outside the door. He said he might make it to New Vegas after all. When asked about Benny, he called him Fancy Pants and said that he hadn't seen him since Good Springs and assumed he ran back to easy living in New Vegas. Lori told him that it was good to see him again, and he actually made a joke by saying it was a mite embarrassing and that people might talk. Lori blushed a little and wasn't sure why, but laughed just the same. They made their goodbyes and parted ways again. Victor told her to look him up when she got to New Vegas, and he'd buy the first round. She replied sure, then wondered, as he spun on his single wheel and hurried away, if he intended to buy her a whiskey or a can of motor oil. Cass's caravan was on the north side of the strip near the Allied Technologies offices, one of the businesses that Lori was interested in checking out later. Finding the caravan and the evidence of energy weapons being used, Cassie recalled a similar-sounding incident with a Griffin Ware's caravan being attacked with energy weapons and asked if they could check it out. The location was northwest of the Gunrunner's site on the other side of New Vegas. Lori agreed that they could check it out. Before heading out, they checked out the Allied Technologies building and the nearby abandoned warehouse. Salvage was salvage, after all. Soon the Basin Creek building lured them in. With nothing much to show for it, they continued north and west and started encountering fiends, some of whom had laser RCW rifles. One of the fiends was Driver Nephi, who had a nice golf club on him. They also fought a guy named Cook. Lori wasn't sure if she killed him, but she'd got some kind of a cookbook. On the outskirts of New Vegas, they entered Freeside and met Ralph at Mick and Ralph's, and he told them about the King, who controls Freeside, an area outside of the Strip. He also told Lori that the Vandegraffs sell energy weapons and the Atomic Wrangler is a casino and brothel. Lori convinced Ralph to sell her a counterfeit pass to New Vegas for 500 caps, a steal over the 2,000 needed to get in otherwise. When they entered the Strip, they found Victor, who told Lori that Mr. House in the Lucky 38 was itching to make Lori's acquaintance. Lori took Mr. House up on the invitation and learned that he has been secluded in the Lucky 38 since the Great War and only talked to her over a large computer screen. He wasn't forthcoming about how he'd survived. Benny runs the tops for Mr. House and likely stole the platinum chip thinking that he could use it himself, which he cannot. The three houses are each former tribes that were recruited to run the three remaining casinos open to the public on the Strip. The Lucky 38 isn't open to the public. Swank, the doorman at the tops, is Benny's number 2 in command, but Mr. House thinks that with convincing evidence to prove she's working with Mr. House, he'll accept that Benny is in the wrong and look the other way while she deals with him. Lori accepted the contract from Mr. House to recover the platinum chip, and on her way out of the Lucky 38, a Securitron guard told her that the presidential suite had been comped to her for the use of she and her friends, but warned that only she got to meet with Mr. House. Lori checked out the suite and then left the Lucky 38. Outside, she was confronted by an NCR courier delivering a message from Ambassador Crocker, which she decided to deal with later. Entering the tops, she found Swank and talked to him and showed him Benny's lighter. He offered to give her Benny's key and keep him away from his suite so she could search for evidence against him. That way Swank could justify asking Mr. House to arrest Benny. In Benny's suite on the 13th floor, Lori found a weird Securitron which was apparently programmed by a girlfriend of Benny's to answer questions about anything, from anyone, always. Benny called him Yes Man, and he divulged Benny's entire plan to her. She took the information to Swank. He agreed that Benny was being very bad and agreed to send him to his suite so that she could deal with him. Lori confronted Benny in his suite, and after much squirming and offering of deals, she shot him dead. Downstairs, Swank only mentioned that he knew she had been inside the Lucky 38 and commented on her resourcefulness, so he was keeping it low-key. Outside, she was confronted by some kind of fruity courier from Caesar, telling her to report for a meeting, saying this was her one chance to have any crimes against the Legion forgiven. She was non-committal and left. She was a little freaked out how word of her travels had spread throughout New Vegas so fast and the number of people who wanted to meet with her.
I'm too caught up in the pictures, I'm sorry. Oh, he wants to kill...
Last picture posted of the courier with the subtext, "The eyes of the mighty Caesar are upon you. He admires your accomplishments and bestows upon you the exceptional gift of his mark."
You say
Yeah,
Caesar like you're Russian, but...
But he swapped out his coyote head.
Yeah, it's
He's
Vulpes.
wearing a derby.
The courier is Vulpes if you didn't kill him. If you killed him, it's somebody else.
I don't recognize him without the coyote hat.
And the glasses, you know, he's got a signature look.
Yeah.
It's like when you see a celebrity in public and they're not wearing their usual, garb.
That's why in commercials you always got to put football players in their football jersey, otherwise normies have no idea who they are. Like, well, who are you? Oh, you put your outfit on. Now I recognize you.
Yeah, but Lee's having brunch with friends, and so that's why I was sharing his pictures. I started out a little slow, but then we got caught up. We always got to narrate it.
And he's wearing like a weird Civil War era bow tie.
I mean, I think it's a pretty sweet outfit, you know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
He's trying to blend.
Understudy. That's hilarious.
He's trying to blend with the strip, but you're right. He's not doing the best job. That is kind of a.
Oh yeah, he looks like a little kid trying to dress up like how someone, an adult would dress up. You know.
Right. It's more like a cravat, but I love that. We got some pictures of Cass in there too, and approaching the location.
Right. Good shit. Thank you, Lee, for the pictures, the slideshow, the audio feedback, and everything. Let's see. We will do Sassy Lady Part 2 next week, and it looks like we are running along, but we will quickly visit.
Let's do a game.
You do want to do the game? All right. Well,
yeah, let's do a Mojapalachia.
Happy Okay. Well, just a quick game and transition to the news here. We've got here. We got a little bit of game time.
What time is it? Game time!
All right. Mahapalachi, military locations in Fallout New Vegas. Ray, which is further north. The Fort or Camp McCarran?
The Fort.
Camp McCarran is further north, Ray.
What?
Come on. I'll have to double check that. Jess, further south. Ranger Station Alpha, Ranger Station Bravo.
Did you say further south or further east?
South. Alpha or Bravo?
Alpha, Bravo. We're going to go with B, Bravo.
Oh, gosh, Jess, come on. Alpha is further south. When they say Ranger Station, I assume they're talking about the NCR Rangers?
Yeah, the outposts, yeah.
Further east, Ray. Camp Forlorn Hope or Ranger Station Delta? Delta or Forlorn Hope? Further east.
I'll go with Forlorn Hope.
Oh, geez, you guys are 0 for 3 so far.
You're picking
I'm picking the toughies, exactly. Jess, furthest west on our map. Hidden Valley or Ranger Station Charlie?
Okay.
C or Hidden Valley?
Wow, this is still hard because Charlie isn't directly comparable. They're going to give so easy like the Mojave Outpost. I'd be like, haha, further west. Ranger Station Charlie compared to which one?
Hidden Valley, the BLS.
Oh, I'm going to go with Hidden Valley. It's probably a little further west.
It is. Good job. Yes. Redeem.
Nice.
Redemption. All right. Swing 1 for 4. Sounds good. All right. Let's roll.
Military checkpoint.
Yeah. Let's roll into some.
Jessica, to the office, please. Jessica, to the office. Your iguana bits are ready. Please come pick them up.
Ooh, hot.
Yeah, like I was just mentioning in chat, show is going a little long, but we had a solid hour and 2 minutes of feedback. It was great. I'm glad you got a chance to listen to and share it all. So I'll keep the bits pretty quick. Just for anyone keeping track at home, it is squarely afternoon for me now. Morning is over. We are in the afternoon for the bits.
The time has changed.
Absolutely. So I don't even know what I was putting for this first bit. So we're gonna scrap that one. Show list. I don't know. Let's go right to the community calendar.
List.
So right now we are in the middle of a mini season, a surprise mini season that popped up. Mentioned it last episode. It's a Sunset Sarsaparilla themed mini season in Fallout 76. It ends on the 6th. So if you're playing 76, you haven't jumped in yet, you still have time. You can jump in. You can win yourself a Sunset Sarsaparilla deputy hat. If you want to be a deputy too, you can. You can get a Saddle Up deputy. I don't know, is that an emote?
Yeah.
I haven't actually unlocked that yet. And you get a bunch of tickets to cash in for some really cool prizes. So it's a mini season right now on the scoreboard. Jump in and get it. There's also, let's see on the community calendar, looking ahead for January. Not a whole lot listed right now. January is, of course, the month after all the holidays. We've done so much. They're going to take a little bit of a break and come back. Probably be some announcements as the month goes on. As you mentioned, Xbox Direct coming up. We might hear more about what's going on for the game, although we just got Blood and Rust and Burning Spring, so I don't think we're going to hear much about what's coming to 76 for a while. The only event on the calendar is going to be Mothman Equinox starting end of the month, so not till around January 27th or so. That's it on the community calendar. Bethesda put up an article that I thought would be fun to go over with y'all about the most popular creations of 2025. So, of course, they call mods creations now officially by Bethesda. And now we got them in Fallout 4 too. So Skyrim, Starfield, and Fallout all have creations. And they're keeping track of the most downloaded and popular mods on the store. So, Ray, I know like you get your creations from your mods from Nexus and stuff mostly, right? Even on all the games? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Andrew, you use the store a bit, but you haven't been adding new stuff in Fallout 4 for a bit, I don't think.
No, I haven't played with creations really.
Well, let's jump in then and we'll talk about the most popular creations in Fallout 4 first, of course, which, you know, to stay topical. So the one that launched with the creation system, with the Fallout 4 update for Anniversary, Become a Bounty Hunter by Hobgoblin Studios. That's the most popular one at this point by far in the new system downloaded. And you can get, you know, you get the Texas Red and the Sweetheart Vengeance skins, a couple of different cowboy outfits, you know, very New Vegas theme. There's a whole new faction with bounty hunter stuff, and you can get a cool revolver like the Ghoul's revolver and a few things like that. So it's themed a little bit around the show, a little bit around New Vegas in Fallout 4, but it's really well done. There's a whole saloon section. There's a lot added. They did a great job on it. There's a new companion that's been really popular in Fallout 4 too called Dr. Casey. Companion Casey, a doctor follower. Andrew, somebody heal you on the go. You might like this one.
Bubenstein.
Yeah, no, Bubenstein doesn't. Healing is not her specialty.
Oh, do you know?
Okay. Yeah, then there's also a Gutsy Robot backpack, which is a really cool backpack made out of a Mr. Gutsy. Looks really good.
That's hilarious.
And then the Varmint Rifle. So these are in Fallout 4. A lot of them are very New Vegas themed. Since you get Varmint Rifle. I mean, it's just timing. It's just timing with, you know, they only released the creation system last month in there. In Starfield, the most popular are, I think, pretty obvious. At Hell's Gate, which is, of course, the Doom-inspired one. It's technically official, but made by King Gath for Bethesda. And then, of course, Watchtower, which is also by King Gath Studios and adds a whole faction and mission and space station and new methods of flying ships and such. You know, I'm curious to see, with the updates coming to Starfield, how they manage to integrate that stuff. Like we know that big updates break some mods, but I'm curious about the ones with creations, how much they'll interfere or not, how much updates will have to be, and if they'll even take some of the people having fleets now into account when building things. Not sure. And then finally on Skyrim, top creations. If you're playing Skyrim, if you're looking at creations, there's one called Ballad of Wealth, Coin Master, which lets you invest, acquire, and manage businesses around Skyrim. If you want to turn Skyrim into a merchant simulator, you can do that. Yeah, exactly. There's this dark elf, Tithys Andromo, and the two of you together kind of take over the empire, or at least, you know, Skyrim monetarily. But we all know whoever controls the purse strings.
That's fun.
Yeah. Another one called Defenders of Hlaroon, which is you recruit a Khajiit mercenary, and it comes with armor and a new mercenary companion. Probably kind of like, what's the cool Curious Blue Punch Cat companion that we've had for years? Karjo or something? I'm forgetting his name.
I'm leukinating.
Yeah. There's a lacuna where that information should be. But no, it's a really cool cat mod that we love. But this is a new Khajiit follower that's actually been really popular. The mod is called Defenders of Hlaroon. And then finally, another companion called Ferris has been really popular. So as always, companions in Skyrim, they add a lot because usually there's a quest involved, there's a new character involved. Do the same things, but with, you know, a little more commentary for those of you who like companions.
I suppose there are those people.
Oh,
they are out there somewhere.
They're super cool.
Coming up, I just wanted to give you guys a couple of dates. There is going to be an ESO live stream January 7th at 3 p.m. So January 7th, that is going to be this coming Wednesday, I think. Just pulling up the calendar now. Yes, Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. And they said they're going to talk about the future of ESO. This is going to be a big stream. So for our Elder Scrolls Online players, and I know there are a few of you who dabble or play regularly, there might be a 2026 roadmap. We know that they are done with the old, seasons expansion system. They're done with that. They're moving on to a new phase. So I think we're going to learn more about what that is. So curious about that. There was an excellent article. I believe this is the one in Game Informer. Yes, it's in Game Informer. It was in the print magazine, but also Game Informer's online at this point. For those of you who remember Game Informer left, they came back. They're now print again, one of the few gaming print magazines out there and online. But they had an article called Bethesda Talks Fallout's Future and Lessons Learned. It was a chance for some of the Game Informer staff, I believe it was Brian Shea wrote this one, sat down with people from the studio around the TV premiere to talk about their games and work and all that. So I highly recommend the article. I will drop the link in chat. But I do want to bring up a couple of quotes because there are quotes here from Todd, Emil, and Angela Browder. I'll read Todd first, of course. So Todd said about Fallout when asked about, the Fallout franchise going forward, what they want to accomplish. That's what was specifically asked of them. Todd said, I will say first, looking at 76, we've never stopped developing Fallout. We've had a full team on Fallout for a long time, not referring to the Austin studio here. So Fallout, as a franchise, is the one we're still doing the most work in above anything. Now, the majority of our internal studio is on Elder Scrolls 6. And you guys have all heard both those comments. Like some people say, oh, that's a contradiction. They said they're doing the most with Fallout, but the majority of the studio is on 76. No, it's because they might be working on the most projects with Fallout that we know about and that we don't, but the majority of people are working on what's new for Elder Scrolls 6. Continuing the quote, we are doing other things with Fallout that we haven't announced. And there'll come a time for that. I get the anxiety from fans, like, well, what else? What else? Feed me. But look, we're working on stuff, and we do like to wait. So I think there'll be a moment to talk about that. We want to make those special moments for our fans. End quote. So that's all of the Todd quote there. And I do like the fact that he references Fallout projects we haven't talked about. He actually is saying these things concretely now for us. So I thought that was really good. Also, just with Emil, I will quickly reference the Emil quote. One thing that some people aren't as happy with. So once again, asking about Fallout, he mentioned, quote, I'd be happy with a game that's successful as the previous Fallout games that continues to give fans what they love, and to give them a story they can get into and the systems they love, and really an experience they play not for 20 hours, not for 100 hours, but an experience they can play for 200, 300, 600 hours, because that's the kind of games we make. That would be my hope. Keep doing what we've done and also to evolve. Evolve in a way that is where the industry has gone and where players have gone so you're not stuck in the past. Like in the Oblivion remaster that came out. People forget in the original Oblivion, you couldn't sprint. So, of course, we're going to add that to the Oblivion remaster. Things like that. The industry moved on, and so we want to move with it. End quote. I enjoy that. I like the fact that he references the Oblivion remaster and talk about how they're adding such things to their game, moving with the industry in the future, which, if they're doing a Fallout 3 remakester, I think you guys are going to be able to sprint. Excited to hear that. I would at least pull that information from it. And the part that some people don't love about it is the whole play not for 20 hours, not 100 hours, but 2, 3, 600 hours. But again, we do. That is what Bethesda's core base does, so many of us. Some people look at it as he wants to fill the games with filler and nothing but Radiant quests. It doesn't say that. Just a game you can keep coming back to, keep playing. So, it's all how you look at it. It's all the perspective. And then finally, I'm not going to read the whole Angela Browder quote when asked about the future of the Fallout franchise because she had a long one. For those who might not remember Angela, she is the studio director at Bethesda Game Studios now. She's been with them for years. You've probably seen her in some of the behind-the-scenes stuff in the past. But she's now the studio director. And so she says, I'll just do a small part of her quote, every one of our past games is a learning experience. Let's take Fallout 76. Yes, we learned how to make multiplayer. We also learned what it means when you ship a product that doesn't necessarily hit really well right away. And we learned about investing and listening to our players and strengthening who we are and what we are. End quote there. And then she goes on to talk, and I'm just going to paraphrase here briefly, about how they really do listen to all the feedback. They occasionally get criticized for not putting in. She's like, but there are features in our next game, and in our games that may have been brought up in a Reddit conversation 12 years ago. We said, oh, we got to do that. And so it might not be clear when you're playing Starfield that some of what they added was based on feedback they saw on Reddit or feedback they got on during Skyrim or Fallout 4. But of course, they do evolve and change the games. Things like moving from the voice protagonist to the silent protagonist are really obvious. But, things like also adding in skill checks after they had started to remove them. All these various things that they move back and forth. So recommend the whole article. I'm going to link it to you guys in the Discord right now. And just wanted to share a few quotes from it. Speaking of people at Bethesda talking, Todd shouted out Fallout London. It's funny because he shouted it out by also saying he hasn't played it, which some people like, oh, Todd hasn't played Fallout London, but he's a busy dude, y'all. He's a busy dude, but he's seen it. He's aware of the people playing it. And here's his quote. He says, I would say we look at a lot of the modding going on. When you have those total conversions, I just want to say how hard that is. And the fact that it came out, because most of those never come out, and the fact it came out seems like a lot of fans love it. I need to express to everybody out there how difficult and what a journey that is for some of these big mod teams to do stuff like that, end quote. So yeah, he's just saying, congrats to Fallout for coming out. And he wants to emphasize and double down that it takes a lot of work to build a, total conversion mod, which is essentially building a small Bethesda game within a Bethesda game.
Yeah, no, it totally is.
And in the case of London, not that small.
Yeah, it's massive. So
it really is.
My second favorite Fallout game.
Yeah, exactly. New Vegas and London.
Yep.
The two Todd didn't direct, but
that has nothing to do with it.
Nothing to do with it because the engine's coming from Bethesda, and a lot of the content is too. I do find that kind of oddly coincidental for some people. There are people who will use that as like, oh, but Bethesda can't make the best game. No, they make great games, but people can take, and build upon their base in some really cool directions. And also, we all have different favorites, like my favorite is probably Fallout 4, and I think Andrew's too, as much as we love 76 and other games.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I mean, or sorry,
Shelter, of course.
Shelter.
But I mean, that goes unsaid.
I apologize. Well, speaking of Shelter, so the season's going on, the Viva New Vegas season. Have you still been playing on it? The experimental vaults, the $5 buy-in. How do you feel about having to pay $5
I let it rest for
pack?
most of the break. I did have like one play session. I think I'm done with Maximus's quest line. And who are they sending next? I don't remember. Who the next thing is. So yeah, I need to get back to it. Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still going on, though. Did you pay the $5 for the pass? You probably did, right?
No.
To unlock everything? Oh, so
No,
you're doing
not.
just the free content, not the actual season pass
I've
content.
never paid for anything in my life, game related. I was like, I refuse to pay for like, the stem pack packs or the pet carriers or like. I don't know why it bothers me, but it's a thing of principle. You know what I mean? I will never buy that sort of shit. I don't know why, but I just won't.
You've bought a few Atoms along the years, though. You have.
Oh yeah, I
was
was subscribed to the Atoms thing for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's big news. I didn't tell you guys. I unsubscribed from.
Fallout First last
Fallout
summer, right?
First. No, I just did it the other day. Fallout First and Game Pass, because a couple months ago I subscribed to Game Pass, and then I was only playing Fallout New Vegas, and I was like, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense for me to pay $40 a month or whatever.
For those of you listening who care, I've said it before, but Game Pass Premium is the way to go now. Do Game Pass Ultimate if you feel you need to get those day one games. But there's so much in Game Pass Premium. You get all the online play. You get all the important stuff with Game Pass Premium now, half the price. I think that's the way to go. Also, in the Shelter season, who is Ed Gould? Like, what is Ed Gould? What is this?
It's
I was just reading up, and I saw the name come a few times. Meet Ed Gould and work with him to blah blah blah. So.
He has a power fist he came with. Is he? He must be from the show from season 1, right? Or no?
Think, yeah, they're probably just making a new character and kind of making him a ghoul to be cool.
So they're not referring to a specific character. What was the name of the dude who got the arrow through the neck to figure out he was a ghoul in season 1? The
Thaddeus?
guy, Thaddeus. There's no way to shorten his name to Ed, is there?
Nope.
Okay.
No, so it's just a character. They just decided to do Ed Gould. Okay. You heard about Lucky Skins, Fight for Power, all that stuff.
What about the guy from Fallout 4 who was Cabot's Ed? Wasn't there an Edward someone?
Edward Deegan.
Ed Deegan, there you go.
Maybe it is Ed Deegan. Who knows?
There's no way that's Ed Deegan.
Good times. And I think that'll pretty much wrap up the bits. Obviously, exciting things promised for Starfield. There are a lot of articles over the last 2-3 weeks about blah, blah, blah and stuff coming, and we'll see soon enough. We will see soon enough. But what Tim Lamb did say officially last fall was part of the team has been focused on space gameplay to make your travels there more rewarding. We're adding new game systems and a few other smaller delights. So you're going to get stuff about new game systems,
wow, space
travel, and other delights. And of course, Terran Armada, whatever that is.
I hope it's not Turkish delight. Ugh.
What is the quote from Westworld? With violent delights come violent ends. Yeah.
Oh,
so be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, exactly. Do they do they care? Do they ask Tim Kaine anything anymore? Is he a producer on the show or anything like that?
So he and some of the people at Obsidian, got to, they went on set for some of the show this season, and they got to see a little bit of advanced stuff around it.
But they're not giving input or anything. Okay.
Not as far as I know. But I mean, you never know what's happening and who people are talking to, and stuff. But yeah, Tim Kaine is back at Obsidian full time, like we talked about.
Yeah.
And they're all working on something.
Cool. Good stuff. All right. Did you have any other?
My only shouts were scorecations. I know we got to give a scorecation for both Rando and Suliore for finishing the scoreboard.
All right, Rando.
Scorecation!
All right, Suliore.
Scorecation!
You each get a shout. Good job, fellas.
And just a quick welcome to the Discord to Jordan. I mentioned earlier as a Starfield player who hopped in with us. Welcome to the Discord. We had a big influx of people October and November, which is great. And just a few recently with the show. We'll probably get a few more that comes in as a Fallout is on the news again. But I love it. Welcome in. Come on in. Chat with us. Share your picks.
Yeah. Welcome.
Scorecation!
Y'all get a shout too.
And only a few bots, says Lee, who joined us right at the end. Yes, only a few bots.
There was something you were getting rid of sex bots in the crack of a whip or something, Jess.
I was really proud. We had one bot come in and they tried to post some naughty nightwear photos.
No,
and I kiboshed them in less than 10 seconds. I was right on it.
Out.
It's called Too Much Time on My Phone. I saw it immediately, but we got it done.
You 86 to that douche. All right.
Absolutely.
Good job. Hey, quit your growling. Puppies.
Okay, let's talk about this cute little pup we got on the camera right now.
He is very frustrated because Papa's not cuddling.
Yeah, somebody got another member of the family. Again.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, well, this isn't the new one, but we brought home a third dog the other day. So, this
if you have three
grumpy.
people and 3 cats, you need 3 dogs.
Oh, we got 4 cats now, 3 dogs, and he's getting grumpy. We got now way more people than... Oh, that's what you're
the 2 new dogs you've only had for a couple months. I mean, when did you get them? Was it October? Was it September?
Summer. When did we get the pups?
Late summer then, maybe.
I don't remember when we got the pups. What does that mean? June? Yeah, it's June, July, something like that.
Okay. Yeah, but they're adorable. And so it's just beautiful to see all these babies.
Oh, we're just buying too many animals.
Yeah, and the new one with the underbite is just gorgeous.
That's one word for it, sure. He said Daxie with his underbite is gorgeous. Him beautiful. Mom.
He's got a little mohawk too.
Yeah,
really
he's got a little kind of bristly, stiff hair, so you can give him little mohawks and stuff. All right. Did you guys have any other topics you'd like to talk about on the show this week?
We're about to hit 3 hours.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do that. All right. Well, you can find Ray and his No Man's Sky podcast at BBC ISSS for the Butcher, Baker, Candlemaker in Space. Ray, and at Ray LB also. Hey, Ray, thanks so much.
Good times.
Jess can be found at Sleep is 4T and check out all the Modus files and everything else. She is involved in so many different projects. And remind us again real quick, the thing you appeared on last week.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So it's in the Discord and linked a few places, but I appeared on the Story Motors podcast. That's all one word, Story Motors podcast, talking about episode 2 of the Fallout TV show. But I also, just for everybody in the Discord or on Facebook, I just posted a list, a revamped list of all of ASA Podcasting's current and older shows, our socials, and links to a few of our friends' shows too. So if you're ever like, man, where's that Fallout Let's Play? Where can I find that now? Where was, this? Where can I find that now? Yeah, Awesome Spaceship is included on that list too, Andrew.
Oh, good Lord. Yeah, blast from the past. How about that?
There you go. So yeah, if you're curious of that list, just look them up. It's right in the Discord pinned under announcements. And I hope everybody has an awesome day. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this edition of the Fallout Feed. And we'll see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrimatic podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.